Hey, 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 and welcome back. This is the TSG live shoot. What am I calling this thing? Call in talk show. That's what it is. I'm your host, John. And hey, Happy New Year, everybody. I know I just told you that on the podcast a few days ago, but we're in a new year. So happy 2021. I'm going to be joined here in a second by my friend Alvin, also known as Fabio. And we're going to have fun today. It's kind of an open topic of the best and worst of 2020. And I think that 2020 was a bit of a challenge for most of us. And I think it'll be interesting to hear the things that people dealt with this past year. So with that, let me bring Alvin in. And there he is. Hey. What sounds like it looks like I caught you eating something.
Yeah, I got some Twizzlers.
Oh, well, that's one of the best things of 2021 then.
So it's up in 2020. I had one of these big things that's all eaten up.
I want to mention before we get started in earnest with our discussion that this is a call-in show. So anybody watching is welcome to call in. And the link to call in is going to be posted periodically in our live chat window. And also I wanted to mention that if you do call in, you have to do a couple things for us. One is make sure that your webcam is on, that your microphone is working, you're calling from a quiet place, and that this is really, really important. If you're watching on YouTube and you use that link to call in, you need to turn the YouTube video off. Okay, so either close the window or use the little mute button on the YouTube channel to mute it. Otherwise, we're going to get a feedback. It just starts repeating, and it's very hard to remember what you're going to say because you start talking, and then as soon as you start getting going, you'll hear yourself, and then you'll be like, oh, wait, I can hear myself. Now what? So that's a really, really important thing. And the other thing is, know what you want to talk about before you call in. Because if you call in and you're stuttering and stammering and don't know what you're trying to say, we're going to move on to another caller because we're trying to get through as many calls as possible. So anyway, so that's it. Do you know what you're going to talk about, Alvin, or should I just go to somebody else?
Probably go to someone else.
I know it's always a good idea to go to someone else when I'm on the computer. So what about you? Let's start with you. I mean, since you're the special guest co-host today, what was your first reaction to the topic? You know, the best and worst of 2020, like the number one thing that came to mind when I said, "Hey, let's talk about this."
I don't know. I didn't know what to think about. I was like, am I going to ask him like what his best was about the year or what? So that's where I was.
So you had, well, then I'll just ask you, what was the best thing in your experience? What was the best thing about 2020? We'll start with the best. We'll start with the best because that's the nice things to think about.
Hard to narrow it down to one thing, but
let's start off with one thing because I have a list going here that is, it's going to make me think of other things as we get talking, I'm sure. So
yeah. Well, there's a lot of positives that came out of 2020.
Sure. Yeah.
I think one of the best things is I've grown mentally and professionally.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were 5'7" when you started, and now you're 5'11".
No. Probably shrank an inch, actually.
Yeah, that's what she said. Oh, we're probably going to have a few of those on this show.
That's what she said.
Exactly. Oh boy, we already have a question. Oh, it already came up, and I've highlighted it once already. It says, Alvin looks like he's in a caboose. Did you see that?
I'm in the basement. This is like a jerry-rigged wall that came with the place. That's something I did in 2020. I bought a house.
Right. See, and I was gonna prompt you about that because that was a pretty recent thing too. So congratulations on your new place.
Thank you. It happened in October. Just kind of happened real quick, and we got something that's kind of rare in Salt Lake. Is we got below asking price, so that was really nice.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, usually it's a bidding war to get the place.
That's cool.
So
that's cool. Well, congratulations. I'm looking forward to visiting someday.
Someday.
When I thought about 2020, the first thing that came to my mind as a highlight of the year was when you came out about a year ago, because we had a lot of fun and we didn't get to do that this year. So it's kind of, I mean, after that, because we had plans to come out to SLC and, hang out for a while. And, we all know what happened there. So,
yeah. Yep. Can you believe in 2 weeks that would have been a year ago?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, huh?
That's crazy. Seems like so much longer than that.
That was the last time I saw you in person, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't. In a way, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but in another way, it seems like it was longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long year.
Yeah.
Regardless if it was good or bad, like it was a very long year.
It felt longer, I think, because after March, we got stuck, right? Stuck at home, basically. I mean, I did. I know you still had to work and all that, being an essential worker. But I'm not essential. I just, unless you like train stuff, then it's essential. Yeah. So what do you think?
I did do a lot of rail fanning this year, though. That was pretty sweet. I did more rail fanning this year than I ever have ever.
Yeah. What was your best catch rail fanning, you think?
There was a week where they tried to make us not essential, and they told us to stay home for that week.
Yeah.
So every day I got out kind of late morning, and I caught the C&W Heritage Unit.
Oh, cool.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen. That's the Union Pacific. Yeah. What number is that one?
I don't know.
Don't remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember offhand either.
I got a picture of it though.
Right. Cool.
There's a stupid fence in the way, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, the important thing is that you got to see it. That's pretty cool.
I saw it multiple times this year, actually.
Really? I haven't seen any heritage units this year. Oh, actually, you know what? No, that's not true. If you count 1111 as a heritage unit, and I think I would count it that way because it's a unique paint job. I think it was this year. I think I caught that coming up the coastline. When was that? I think it was February or March.
Isn't that when you went with Kevin?
I did not go with him for that, but he caught it south of here, and I caught it when it came through here. And I talked about it on one of the podcasts. So, why don't we do this? We do have our first caller who was waiting when we came on. So why don't we go to him real quick, if as long as you're okay with that.
And, send it.
We'll see what he has to say. Hang on a second. This is Mitch. Hey.
Hey, Fabio. Hey,
What's
Alvin.
up?
Sorry.
How's it going?
Good, thanks. Yourself?
Good. Solid.
Yeah. First time I've jumped on one of these. I've been trying to get on one of these, but then all the time when they've popped up, it's always been the wrong time over here in Australia to jump on.
Right.
So I've just so you guys might remember me from a few months ago. I got some photos in Catch of the Month.
Yes, I remembered your name.
Yeah, so I thought I might jump on and put my face to name.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing so, Mitch. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to hear from you, John.
Yeah, thanks for sending in the pictures too. As I recall, they were nice pictures.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you friends with Lucas Woodward?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I remember because he told me that you were going to be sending the pictures. Very cool.
Yeah, we play with G Scale together in our garden.
Do you?
Yeah, we play 5 Steam. So yeah, we're good friends through Puffing Billy and all that as well. So yeah.
Very cool.
So, now to get onto the questions, I've got a few moments that really stood out this last 12 months for me. Like, there were a couple of rail-related movements. Well, the first one was 28th of November last year when Puffing Billy reopened.
Right.
we had lots of good we had lots of people out on trackside seeing the train come back for the first time following the lockdowns. It was just such a nice moment to see my local railway back up and running. And also another good one for me was also doing the NGG, the recently relaunched South African Garrett in the wet on a special train up to Menzies Creek, which is the second station on the line. Yeah, they put some good shows on for us Gunzels. So yeah, we had some nice shots.
That's very cool. Now,
Yeah.
I was wondering, and maybe I know you'll know the answer to this question. Puffing Billy's, is it a 2-foot gauge, narrow gauge, or
it's a narrow gauge, but it's a 2-foot 6-inch gauge railway. It's a bit of a special gauge. 2-foot 6-inch gauge isn't very common around the world. Like there's only 1 or 2 railways in the UK, and a couple of others that existed and about four others apart from Puffing Billy that existed in Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a bit of an interesting system.
Well, that's cool. I know that if I ever get to Down Under, I'm definitely going to try to see that Puffing Billy because you have all kinds of interesting equipment there.
Yeah, we've got, what do we got? Climax, we've got Shea, we've got the Corvals, we've got British-built Huntsville Clarks, we've got Baldwin-built locomotives that were basically copied designs were built by our own workshops between 1900 and 1917, I think. So there was like the normal Puffing Billy engines. There were 2 of them that were built by Baldwin in 1898 as a pattern design, but then the other 15 were built by our own workshops between 1900 and 1917 from memory, and 6 of them are preserved, and 5 of them are in operation daily. So, yeah,
it's really cool.
And then probably the worst moment for 2020 for me was probably going into lockdowns, just because we didn't really have much motivation to go out and do much. There wasn't much to do. Well, I still played with me garden railway, so that kept me busy. But otherwise, it was a bit of a somber year to be doing too much.
Right.
But yeah, it was an interesting year.
Yeah. Well, since we're on topics of years, what about this year? What do you have? Any big plans? And then after this, we'll go to the next caller.
Yeah, that's all good. For me, probably going to buy another gas-fired steam engine. That's the plan. And yeah, that's really the big plan for this year. So yeah, thanks for letting me jump on, John.
You're very welcome. Thanks for calling in, and thanks for sharing your pictures a couple months ago.
Thanks, John. All right, thank you.
It's nice
Take care, man. Okay. I need to remember how to use this program. There we go. All right. So thanks for calling, Mitch. It was nice to meet you. And yeah, Mitch did. He sent in a few pictures from Puffing Billy a couple months ago that were featured on the Catch of the Month for the podcast. Hey, speaking of the Catch of the Month, you haven't sent anything over, have you, yet?
No, I haven't. But
what's
I
the
do
big
have
idea, you slacker?
Sorry.
This guy's over here talking about, I'm a rail fan, and most of the year I got all kinds of great pictures. The guy hasn't sent a damn thing.
Well, because I don't know what any of them are, or like, I don't know, the proper place of where it's at. I know where it's at. It's over there.
Right.
But I don't know, like,
I took this picture in Utah someplace. People will understand people will understand if I tell them you're the one that sent it in. Like, it's that guy. I'm not surprised he didn't know where he was.
Yeah. I don't know which way is up.
So I asked Mitch if he has plans, right? I didn't ask you if you have plans. Do you have any plans, or are you kind of putting off making plans, or?
I don't know. I always have stuff I want to do. Like I want to add on to my layout.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's something else. So, but when you got your house, you were able to get back to building your layout. That's a good thing.
So it's operatable, like 100%. Like I can switch switches and run everything, except for I do have a switch cat that I guess when I hit the switch button,
Mhm.
it's not timed long enough, so it like barely throws. So if I use my NCE power cap, I have to like go back and keep doing it. But if I use my phone on the Y throttle, because I have a USB interface, I can keep hitting like close, 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 and it'll like close or open. So I got to figure out how to make that work properly with my
Right.
phone.
No, that makes sense. I'm guessing
But this
Gary.
year, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm guessing Gary probably would know how to fix something like that.
Gary might. You know, he's really smart. Like, not to put
What,
Gary
Gary
off or
is?
anything. Yeah, no, he's.
Alvin,
I tell him all the problems I have. I say, hey, I have this problem. And he's like, oh, this is how you fix it. You do this and do that. And he yelled at me because I don't have a volt ohms meter, but now I do.
you
So,
got one, huh?
like, now I have one.
Dude, even
I
I
already
have
got.
one of those.
Yeah, I don't have one of those. He said, how are you not going to have one of those and do electronics? I said,
Guess it doesn't matter. You just do what you can.
just do what you can. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, call the expert.
I was going to say that if it doesn't, call Gary and get yelled at.
He's pretty good.
I hope Gary calls in. I haven't seen him talking in this chat yet, but
Maybe he forgot.
yeah, we should hear
Maybe
from him.
top secret producer can get him on the line.
Yeah. Okay, I got a message handed to me to check the comments. So let's see what this is. I have to go back and find it now. Oh, well, here's the answer to your question. If you need another one, I have spares. So,
Oh, okay.
so do you think it's maybe the problem with it is that it's defective, or do you think you're doing it wrong?
No, it said something about you have to reprogram it somehow to make the milliseconds longer.
Ah,
I think that's what I understood. I saw the manual somewhere around here, but
that helps sometimes.
yeah. But I don't know how to use the power cap very well. So I don't know. I just need to figure it out.
Yeah, it sounds like you need to do some reading or some watching of some videos. And what you should do is become an expert with your power cab.
Yeah.
And when you're good at it, we'll make a video about it. See?
Okay.
That way you can be
We
YouTube.
could do that.
Yeah, you can be YouTube famous. So I want to bring on our next caller here. This is Jason from Owl Mountain Models. Jason, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How you doing?
Doing well. And by the way, I just want to make it a point of clarification real quick. Jason's webcam is not on, but I know who Jason is. So I put him onto the stream as voice only because I know he's not going to crank. Well, I think he's not going to call us.
Santa was delayed. I may get try to get a camera thing set up, but I just Steve actually I was talking to him and he's like, oh, by the way, John's going to be on at 4:00 and you should hop on there. I'm like, yeah, no camera, but okay, whatever. Hi.
Like last time, I know who you are, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm cool to hop on. So if you guys don't mind looking at maybe my project for 2021.
Okay, so I was going to ask you to talk about your best and worst and maybe what your plans are. So there you go.
Well, let's see. I think I talked about my worst last time I was on. Maybe enough. Should I rehash the worst or should I hop back on the best side? Maybe.
I don't know. It's up to you. You can start with the best. Start on a positive note, right?
Well, yeah, we did an operating session in January of 2020, and that was kind of a highlight. And yeah, then I ran home and basically, yeah, everything went afterwards. So December rolls around and I start pondering, it's good grief. It's been what, 3/4 of a year since I've been in San Diego, basically. So, kind of fish out of water, and maybe it'd be nice to do something. And so I seriously started looking at my shop space, which is about 20 foot by 11 foot roughly, and said, maybe I should really build that layout that I've been thinking about building for the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, the first thing to do is make a drawing of what you're going to do. So I hopped on the computer and started scratching, and what you're seeing as my avatar at the moment is one of the focal points of what I'm thinking about building.
Right. Now, I think you told me about this at some point. You're going to the least popular stretch of Southern Pacific Track or something like that?
Yeah, well, no, I think I can actually think of at least 2 places that are probably less popular.
Oh, okay.
One of which is Sage Hen, Nevada.
Uh-huh.
But that's only about 300 miles away. No, this would be, hey, how you doing, SteamYard? He's waving. I see him.
Oh, you can actually see us? I didn't know if you were just listening.
No, I'm in the studio. Hi.
So someone posted a comment saying, "Hey," and I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh. Yeah, so the thing that I'm thinking about doing is sort of related to Tehachapi. It's the Jawbone branch that we only barely hit on, I think, John, during the tour video.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 143 miles long and wanders up to the Owens Valley, which when I moved to Nevada was sort of the area that was just out the window when I've traveled that 10-hour drive dozens of times in the last 10 years. And hit the Wayback Machine, and it was really sad going through a few places like Little Lake, where there used to be like a hotel and a gas station and the whole bit, and now it's basically just a very sad piece of asphalt off of the highway where nothing exists anymore. I think there's one ghost shack that's still sort of there, all forlorn.
Yeah, that east side of the Sierra Nevada range is home to a lot of ghost towns, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and actually I've kind of blogged about that too, because I've now started diving more into the research of certain ghost towns like Bartlett, Linney, and Little Lake. Yeah. Little Lake's a very beautiful place. It's almost a natural lake that forms against the side of the lava. It kind of forms a bowl, and it formed this water basin.
Right.
I'm hoping to be able to kind of have that as a backdrop in one of my little vignettes on my proposed layout.
Sure. I'm kind of curious, Alvin, do you know of a lot of ghost towns in Utah?
Not really. No. I know there's like some in like central Utah. Yeah. I don't get out that much.
Yeah.
So unfamiliar places.
Yes. So I think in the way that we're going right now, I'm just kind of looking into, it's kind of reset me back to, one car garage, basic around the wall layout. It's just kind of reset a bunch of creative juices, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I saw that Stephen was mentioning that you guys had talked on the phone, so hopefully that was a productive call. And
I think it was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll result in something good for both of you guys.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
It was certainly, I think we enjoyed chatting.
Good. I really enjoy that part of what I do, hooking people up so they can collaborate on things. So it's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, actually it was nice. 2021, I guess, has gone fairly well so far. We got some good weather, and I painted the models for James.
Right, dude, and we're already 4 days in.
What?
That's a milestone. Like nothing bad happened yet. To me, anyway.
It tried to rain and blow my paint shop apart. That's like I will claim that as the only bad thing that has happened so far. But even that, it didn't succeed. So
yeah. So one thing
I don't want to say, we're something to knock on. I don't want to say anything crazy like try harder 2021 because it's only 4 days in.
Yeah, don't
say
do that.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Don't do that. Don't do that, dude. Seriously, yeah. Let's not tempt fate here.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, I do have other people waiting to call.
Great.
So is there anything else, or?
No. I'm just happily plucking away here, and I should actually get back to work here. I got like way more things to do than I have time to do. So I just wanted to check in and see how you guys are doing and say hi. Hi, Alvin. Cool. I think I better let you guys get back to it, and I will do the same, and we will catch up when I have more stuff to do.
Yeah. Thanks, man. It was nice hearing from you, and happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you guys as well, and to all your listeners. Hopefully we'll have a chance to chat more, John. And one of these days we got to figure out how to do the audio to finish up that video that we did 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was the last time I saw you in person. I think was when we recorded for that, and I still have it on my unfinished projects folder.
I still need to listen all the way through it. And,
yeah,
figure out what we're going to talk to you about.
Yeah, we'll get to that sometime. Maybe this year
somebody in 2022 is going to be like, how come the dude's wearing the same shirt from 4 years ago? His hairstyle hasn't changed in 4 years, man.
Yeah, that's funny. It hasn't grown at all.
I know, it's amazing.
And his beard looks exactly the same.
You put him in the freezer.
That guy's like Dick Clark. He never ages.
All right,
we'll talk to you later,
catch
man.
you later. Bye.
See ya. Someone had a question for you, Alvin, in the chat. Nate's very interested in knowing what kind of trains you like.
Oh man, I like all kinds of trains.
Yeah, by the way, think about that. And we have Gary waiting too, by the way. So we're gonna bring him up here in a minute. But I want to know too, what kind of trains do you like? You got to say something. You can't just sit there and make me do all the work.
Yeah. I like diesels mostly. I'm not big into steam. I can respect it, but I'm not like, oh, steam, like some people are.
But there's a question though. You've seen them in person, right? Because I remember I took you to Roaring Camp and you saw those nice and up close. You even went up in the cab of that one. What did you think about that though? It's kind of cool, isn't it?
It was so warm in there.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
I was freezing that day. No, I mean it's cool. I can respect it, but I'm just not that far interested into it.
Yeah. It's funny. I never really liked or thought I cared about steam either. And then I saw more and rode behind more and actually rode in them in the cabs of more of them, and I kind of like it now. I mean, it's we chased the big boy a couple of years ago, and that was that was a pretty big thrill. I mean, it wasn't right, and it wasn't just 4014. 844 was on that power lash up as well. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So boy, we're getting a lot of comments handed to me here. This one is what I've put up on the chat here, or on the screen here. Oh, here's another one for you, Alvin. Remember that?
Oh yeah, the Shay. Looks like this.
All right, we're gonna have to bring Gary on here because he's waiting. So let's bring the goofy one up.
Let me answer that question real quick. So I railfan mostly in Salt Lake.
Okay.
Sometimes I go up to Echo, up to Evanston, because it's only an hour and a half-ish. And I'll go up to Ogden because that's 45 minutes, and you got to go follow the main line to Ogden and then head east to Evanston. So that's what I do mostly.
Is it up on the cutoff?
No, there's no cutoff. Gary, it's got to get gradually higher. I just use my phone as a camera, and I don't have a drone or anything. I just use my phone, so nothing too crazy.
You're in it for love of the trains.
I like to hear the noises that they make. Except for the squealing, that's kind of hard sometimes. But hearing a bunch of locomotives go "Rah!" is cool.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yep. Gary, are you going to just sit there looking, right? Are you going to sit there looking cute, or are you going to say something?
Can you hear me okay?
It's a little quiet, but I think we could deal with it.
I was hoping to do this on the iPhone, but I got all screwed up, so I'm on the laptop.
Is it a special laptop from North Korea or something like that?
Well, no.
It obviously doesn't have a cool microphone.
I want to show you the...
oh, is that your tripod?
That's my tripod that I got from China. It only cost $75.
Wow. Was that one of the best things in 2020 for you?
Yeah. I got I got this specifically for the trip to Strasbourg when we were all supposed to get together there with Sparky 107.
Right.
So I got the tripod. But what I was calling about was at the beginning of the program, you said something about Alvin came out in 2020.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you did.
I was at your house.
I didn't know he came out.
Oh. Jackass.
And my other question for Fabio is, considering the coronavirus and everything, the year 2020, have you been doing much posing for the romance novel covers this last year?
Not without my mask.
That would be a good poses, but... Yeah, that would be a good gimmick for some book covers that were written this past year, is for the characters on the covers to all be wearing face masks.
Well,
I did get a haircut though.
That's the only silliness I have.
Yeah. What was your best thing of 2020, Gary?
Having the real life Fabio run on your layout.
I guess pretty much completing my layout, because I mean it's complete as far as operation. Operationally, I still have a lot of detailing to do, trees and grass and stuff like that. But the whole thing is all the tracks in, all the industries are in, all the ground is covered with dirt. I can run trains. And it's just detail stuff. So being locked up all year allowed me to finish it. But I probably would have finished it anyway, because I'm usually like a dog on a bone when it comes to stuff like this. I usually go at it even if there wasn't a pandemic going on.
Yeah, I mean the only plans I think that we had for traveling was to go to Pennsylvania for that thing that Sparky was doing. Other than that, I mean, we
may have developed later.
Right. We probably would have ended up doing some stuff, but we ended up doing a couple things over the course of the year.
Yeah.
I guess it was a lucky thing that the virus was airborne only, and we knew how to deal with it, with the masks at that point in time.
Yeah. God help us if it was sexually transferred.
Oh, that would have been real easy then. We could have got together all year. Yeah. All right.
Well, that's all I have, John and Alvin.
Do you have any plans, Gary, for 2021, or are you refraining from making plans?
Well, let me tell you a story. My passport will expire next week. And back in September, I started trying to renew my passport. And the first time I sent in the application, they rejected it because the picture I sent, I was wearing glasses. And the only reason why I was wearing glasses is because my old passport, I'm wearing glasses. I wear glasses all the time. I'm blind as a bat without my glasses. So they rejected it. You can't have glasses. So I sent in a second application for renewal, and they rejected it. They just didn't like the picture at all. So finally, about 6 weeks ago, I sent in my third application and they cashed the check. But I got to tell you, the picture, I went to one of the drugstores, I think it was CVS, and had them take a picture. It was a worse picture than the second picture I sent in of myself. And my picture met all the parameters. And the picture I had taken at CVS, you can't see my eyes. My eyes are all dark. You can't really see where my eyes are. But evidently they have accepted it. So the point I'm trying to make is I should be getting my passport back here real soon. And when it comes, I'm ready to leave the country.
Oh, okay. Where are you going to go? But you can't go anywhere because no one will let you travel because you're from here.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some Arab country, huh?
I don't know. That's up to you, Gary. Don't expect me to visit.
I can't go to Europe. But anyway, I'm ready to travel. You know, my passport will be ready. So I'm heading back to Europe as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Whether it's next year or the year after.
Well, there's some people. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alvin.
Weren't you going to go to Italy or something like that this year?
Where?
Wasn't that one of your plans?
What?
To go to Italy this year?
Well, yeah, I plan to go back to Italy, sure.
I know, but weren't you going to go in 2020?
I want to go to England, too.
That's what it is, England. Weren't you supposed to go there?
Well, I was hoping to go to the NMRA convention that they were supposed to have in 2022, but John was telling me that that's been canceled.
Some sporting event or something, I guess, is taking over.
Yeah, that's what I heard, that they had canceled that because of what Alvin said. So,
yeah. So anyway, and I was hoping to make that stay in Europe a couple of months. Go to that and then go to Italy and rent an apartment like I did the last time.
Right.
And spend some time over there riding trains.
Right. Chasing trains and riding trains. It's a little different.
I don't drive over there, so if I'm going to chase him, it's going to be on foot.
Right. Well, sounds like fun. I keep getting stuff handed to me.
Okay.
Oh,
well, that's all I have, guys.
Okay. Well, it's nice to see you, Gary. Happy New Year.
Nice to say to you.
Hopefully, we'll get to sometime this year.
Yeah. Cut me off because I don't know how to. Oh, I guess I can press this button down here.
Well, it disappeared. Bye.
Bye.
Stupid computers anyway, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to know if anybody else calls you Fabio. And
the only other person is Josh McMurrin.
Really? Oh, because he was there when you got the nickname, right?
He's there. He's the only one.
That's funny. Wow. So in case anybody watching is wondering why I'm calling this guy Fabio, there's a story that I'll tell real quick. Well, first of all, in 2018, I think is when I met you, wasn't it? There was the National N Scale Convention was in Salt Lake City, and I rode the train from the Bay Area where I live out to Salt Lake City. And while we were at the convention, I went with my friend John Wiley, who coincidentally is going to be our guest co-host next month on this show. Yeah, so I've been talking to him, and he said he would do it. Anyway, he excuse me. We went with John and Robin, who's also from the SBHRS here. And while I was in Salt Lake City, I got a call from the guy that Alvin just mentioned, Josh. It was on Facebook, and he's like, "Hey, come see our club, the Golden Spike Model Railroad Club of Utah." Did I get it right? Anyway. Huh?
Golden Spike Train Club.
Oh, Train Club.
Train Club.
I never remember that. Anyway, so we went over there, and since Josh had invited us, I was talking mostly to Josh, but Alvin was there, and I remembered him because he was kind of hanging around, in the background. He had on some red Vans, if I remember right. And he comes over, and do you remember what you said to me?
What's it like to be YouTube famous, man?
Right? What's it like? That was the first thing this guy ever said to me. What's it like to be YouTube famous? I'm like, what? I don't even know what that means. I don't remember
man.
what I said.
Trying hard not to be a fangirl and be like, oh man, there's this guy and he's on the internet.
Oh, I watch all your videos. So anyway, we went back. So that was the first time we met. We went back to Utah. I went with Gary and our mutual friend Mike. I don't know, a few months later. I think it was October.
In October.
And we met up, and because Gary and Mike and our top secret associate producer and I went to Promontory, and we were out in the area for a couple of days. So Alvin and Josh and our other mutual friend Warren and some other guys that are mutual friends now all got together and went rail fanning up in a place called Weber Canyon on the Evanston Union Pacific Evanston subdivision. And we just had a great time. Then we went back again for I think it was the NMRA thing was the next time, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Or no, the next time was when we went and chased 4014.
Oh, yeah. We chased the big boy.
And the 150th anniversary of Golden Spike and all that. And then we went again to Salt Lake. And thanks for letting us stay with you guys that time, Alvin, when we went for the NMRA convention. But that's it though. That was then you came out here about a year ago, and that was it.
Yep.
So we had a lot of great times. So and I was talking to someone recently, Alvin, and I don't remember who it was, but I want to tell you the story. Thought it was funny. I had this revelation in my brain when I was telling that story about how we met and what you said, bro, what's it like to be YouTube famous, or what, whatever version of that comes out in the story. And I thought about this. I thought that was the first thing you said to me. And over the next year or two, you got to be YouTube famous. So I could ask you the same question.
It's strange because people know who you are, but you don't know who they are.
Right?
They're like, oh, hey, Alvin, how's it going? I'm like,
yeah. And who are you?
Yeah, I don't officially, and I don't want to be like rude and be like, who are you? But like, it's got to be a nice guy. Hey, how's it going?
Now you know what it's like, though.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right? So now you're going to be even more YouTube famous.
Speaking of YouTube famous, I was thinking about starting my own YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah? How about that?
Yeah. I don't know, though.
We should talk about that a little bit more. Maybe get people to give you some ideas of what you could do.
Potentially.
Right?
I think I do want to rebuild my layout.
That could be a good one. People love how-to stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Do I have a nickname? I don't think I have a nickname, do I?
I could just think of Jackass, but that's not very nice.
Yeah, that's the only nickname I remember being called. And it's not really a nickname because it's not like I answer to it necessarily. and I usually deserve to be called that because I'm making some smart ass comments.
Or doing smart ass activities like locking windows.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. That was a really crappy situation.
Yep.
So there was another time that I forgot about, Alvin, that we saw each other. And do you remember what that was? You came out to Colorado. And
yeah.
We ended up, right? And we ended up hanging out with someone who's about to call in. So let's bring her in. Hey, more legit than legit pizza.
That's her. There she is.
Yeah, and that's my first question for you, Alvin. In 2020, which was better, dope donuts or legit pizza?
I got more legit pizza than dope donuts, so that was probably legit pizza.
So it's legit pizza. Okay, well, what's your prediction for 2021 then? It's a tough one.
Look at her. She just went straight to business with this.
I was like, I got to get this question out of Alvin before I start laughing.
Yeah. No, I think legit pizza might be more official, even though I do live down the street from Super Dope Donuts now. Like it's 2 miles that way.
You lived
you're-
close to Legit Pizza when we were out there. That wasn't very far.
I did. I don't. I kind of do again. I live close to the one that's downtown underground,
Ah.
which
Okay.
you didn't go to, but John did.
I have another question for you.
Okay.
Why do you like the BNSF more than My Precious UP?
Me?
What?
Or sorry, Alvin. It's a question for Alvin, not John.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah,
John.
because
Come in,
I
Alvin.
think
I'm listening to Alvin.
I think Alvin does like UP.
He likes
I do like
BNSF
UP.
better.
No, the only reason why we went to go see it was because there's not very much coming through Salt Lake.
Okay.
And
I will accept that answer.
I do only have one BNSF model. I was gonna grab it, but it's over here, and I don't want to be weird. But the rest of them are UP. Just so you know,
I'm gonna give you a hard time because you made me hunt for a BNSF yard for you, and I'm
did.
like, I don't know
And
where
you
that
did a
is.
good job, except for it said UP on the building.
That was hilarious. But we found one. We eventually found a BNSF train. So
Yes, we did.
that was funny. So
You know, can I say something? I find this really hilarious because I know that there are some people who are watching right now who know everything we're talking about. They know because almost every joke that we've talked about or thing that we've been mentioning is on Chasing Trains at some point, the series. So
right. It totally is.
right. So since you called in, Michelle, I know you have questions for Alvin, but we also have to ask you what the best of 2020 was and the worst of 2020. So what do you think?
Okay, I wrote down a little list. It's short though, I promise. The worst of 2020 was I had a lot of travel planned, a lot of rail trips, rail fanning, new things I would see, my seventh big boy, sorry, and things like that. No big boy, that's on the list. No UV steam this year. That was really hard. And the museum being closed, that was really hard.
Right.
Really affected my personal life and job and all that stuff. But the good things that came out of it, I took the time to watch trains. I went outside the museum because I was there, and I watched the local every day. And I watched the Z train, and I watched all the trains that I could see near me, and it was great. And I met a lot of new people.
I do remember you posting all kinds of videos all the time.
Yeah.
And then the Blade train came through. That was really cool.
Yeah, I saw a lot of neat stuff. The Olympic unit came through a lot. Got to see the 2001 quite a bit on the local. So
I've never seen one.
Yeah, so it was really fun to actually watch trains. I learned to be a dispatcher this year, kind of out of necessity, but it was fun. And I loved it. I've dispatched the railroad at the museum, and I'm not bad. I'm okay.
Well, that's what they told you, Michelle.
Well, I didn't wreck anything. Nothing broke. I was told that dispatchers aren't supposed to giggle.
Who told you that?
Important. The real railroad guys. They're like, our dispatchers gonna laugh. But that's okay.
Well, right. But I mean, it wasn't you. So, right?
Right. But I am learning, and I've learned so much, and I've learned like proper dispatching terms, and I'm getting better.
You mean like that? You're on the wrong track, dummy.
No, usually it's could you check your signal out there to make sure I have that set correctly? It's all good. Oh man, I see the question on the screen. I am not YouTube famous.
Well,
I beg to differ.
Yeah. This is Wicked Seafood. Do you remember, Alvin, when that guy that met us at the museum, John
Dyson?
Yeah, that's who that is. And he said that he fangirled you.
Me or Alvin there?
No, John fangirled Alvin when he met him out here.
That was fun.
So, Michelle, when was the last time you got we call it getting fangirled. That's when someone comes up to you and is like, oh, I love all your shows, or I know who you are because I saw you on,
I don't
whatever.
think that happened this year. I don't think that happened in 2020, which is fine. But there was a really fun experience. Okay, so I can't say exactly who this is. There's a railroad nearby that might have a heritage unit that I might have just talked about. And I took a bunch of cookies to them right before Christmas and dropped them off. And they might have stopped this locomotive outside the museum and said, Michelle, come up here real quick. And so I get up in the cab of this awesome locomotive that I'm so excited to see. And they said, thank you for the cookies.
That was it. Huh?
It was so cute. And then I had to hop out because they got their signal. They didn't have a signal, so it was okay for them to stop. But that's probably the closest thing to fangirling I got this whole year was thank you for the cookies. So
You didn't send me any cookies.
I don't mail cookies. I don't mail very well. You have to come, you have to be here.
What's up with that? We can't come out there. The least you can do is mail some cookies.
I can mail you cookies.
I was gonna come see you in April, but then everything got canceled.
I know. See, I think that's probably my worst thing of 2020 is just all the trips that didn't happen and the train shows and the fun and the laughs that we could have had, those kind of things. But we have connected this way. So on the plus side, we're here on the screen, the three of us together, and all these people talking to us who are awesome. And I've met so many people. I met so many people this year, so many new friends. So that's a blessing.
That's on my list. Got good at all this live, meeting stuff. And yeah, I agree, Michelle. I've also met a lot of people. As a matter of fact, I met a lot of the same people that you met on some of the other little chats that we've been on, a little group meetings and stuff. It's been really cool.
It's been neat. I've been involved in a lot of groups because I've had time to do this, and there's so many cool people on this planet. Yeah. I've loved everybody I've met. It's been fantastic.
I've really particularly been fond of meeting the people from Australia that I've met over the past year or so, including the first caller tonight who was on, Mitch. I hadn't met him, but he had sent in pictures for my podcast for the Catch of the Month. And everybody that I've talked to from down under is just super great. I mean, you like Rod and Neil that we both met over the past year or so. Super nice people. So I've been enjoying that a lot, and hopefully someday I'll get out to Australia because I'll know someone there.
I know. See, we can travel in the future, and we know people everywhere now.
Yeah.
And I expect everybody listening to this to say hi. If you're in Colorado, you better come say hi.
Right. And they can fangirl us in Australia. Won't that be something? International stars.
Wow.
Well, 3 people in Australia know you, so you think you're famous.
Super
Or 6 people, whatever it is. What, that makes you twice as famous as if you only had 3, though.
True. And I also have a friend who's a woman from Australia who's a rail fan. She's not a modeler, but she's a huge UP Steam fan, and it's been fun getting to know her. So
right.
It's cool.
Is she a model, though?
She doesn't. I don't think she models. She's a rail fan. She's the captain of one of those giant passenger boats, like the 100-passenger ferries. And she's this little tiny thing, and she's all over Sydney. So, but she loves trains. She goes home. She bought a house next to a railroad so she could rail fan.
You mean Sydney, Australia, not the top?
Australia. I'm talking about my Australian friend Genevieve.
No, you said she's all over Sydney, and I'm like, no, she's not. There's no one on her at all right here.
Gosh, you guys.
Oh man. Oh well.
I say the innocent thing, and people take it wrong.
No, I know. Well, leave it to me. I've been known to say the wrong thing sometimes too, but hopefully I'm able to recover from those times.
That's what
I have
she
a
said.
pretty famous one that I did one time. Because I'm not good in the kitchen. Like, this is a well-known fact. I'm not a good cook. And one time I actually came into the kitchen, and the question was bigger than what I asked. There was a whole lot of details that didn't come out of my mouth. I really wanted to know about the whole project, but what came out of my mouth was, how do you boil water? And I stopped there instead of saying, for this particular pasta, do I need it this deep or this in what pot? But what I said was, how do you boil water?
Yeah.
My family's never let me live that down.
Further cementing that stereotype about blondes.
Totally. Well, I'm not sure it was blonde back then. I think I had it darker.
Well, so now it's truth in advertising.
Yeah, there you go. It also does explain my kitchen skill. It actually is a very fitting comment.
Oh, that's good.
Sorry.
I have to be careful. If I laugh too hard, I might hurt myself, because I don't know if I think I told Alvin, but I don't know if I told you, Michelle, but we were out walking a couple of weeks ago, and the few days before that, I'd hurt my right side of my rib cage because I was crawling under our house trying to do some work under the house. And in California, we don't have basements like most of the rest of the country. We have a crawl space that's about that tall. Well, it's about 18 inches or so tall.
Okay.
So if you have any work that you need to do under your house, you are on your back or on your stomach crawling to get to where you need to go under the house to do whatever you have to do. It's real fun, let me tell you. So I hurt my right side. Yeah, I hurt my right side of my rib cage somehow. I think I pulled or tore some part of a muscle in there. And then the next week we were out walking and it hurt still. So I was very sensitive about, protecting it. Well, I went to step. I feel so stupid doing. I can't believe I'm telling this story because it really makes me out to be like a complete dumbass.
I just said my story, so let's go with it.
You'll like this. I went to step up on the curb because I was on the street and I was going to step up onto the sidewalk, and somehow I miscalculated and I tripped and I fell.
Oh no!
On the other side,
on the other ribs, the other non-sore ones,
right? And I'll tell you something. These ribs hurt so much more than these ribs. I don't feel this side hurting anymore. So I kind of fixed one and made the other one worse, and it's getting better, but it's taking a while.
So we should
sounds like you're just old to me.
Yeah, well, something like that. I mean, who else falls down for no reason? And I wasn't drunk or anything. I had no excuse. Right. So that's my worst of 2020, I think, is when I fell and hurt my rib cage. Because I mean, shortly thereafter, one of those next following mornings in the next few days, I had a sneeze attack. And when you're hurt something in your ribs and you cough or sneeze or laugh or anything like that, it hurts.
It hurts, yeah.
I can't even do a proper sneeze right now because it hurts so bad that it stops the sneeze.
Yeah, but sometimes when you try to stop your sneeze, then that hurts worse.
It's not pleasant either way. Anyway. All right. Well, is there anything else?
No, that was it. I had the burning question about the donuts versus the pizza in Alvin's world, and he answered, so we're okay.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you, guys.
Get more donuts,
Okay. We'll see.
Take care, Michelle. Thanks for taking the time.
All right.
See ya.
Goodbye.
And Happy New Year.
My hair looks better, by the way. Tell her when she's gone, and then she can't argue with you.
Oh, that's true. She might call back in though for that.
Oh, maybe.
Oh man. So yeah, lots of good times. It's funny. We've had a few guest callers that have been on Chasing Trains already. It's nice to be able to catch up though with people, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. All right. Well, let's bring up our next caller here. Rusty's waiting in the wings, so here we go. Hey, Rusty, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How's it going out in California?
So far, so good, except my ribs.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't exactly have the
Wicked
Fabio
spider.
hair. I don't have that Fabio hair. I don't get confused with being Fabio myself. So.
Yeah, but you have the kind of hair that you can put a wig on real easy and have Fabio hair.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
It's a bit hot sometimes, but you can do it.
Yeah. So tell us about your best and worst, Rusty. What happened that was worthwhile? Start with the good stuff first.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I was working on my layout and I was putting in this other room, and it just wasn't going. I had like a door to get in there and two doors going out, one going on the back deck and one going out into the carport. And it was going to require me to have 3 lift outs. So I just decided to just make that a sitting room and then move my layout into another bedroom. And that's what I did the last couple of weeks. So,
right.
So that's, I don't know what you call to be good. It's just normal life stuff.
Yeah. Was anything really bad for you in 2020?
Yeah. My dad passed away, and I had a cousin pass away and an uncle pass away. So,
well, I'd say that qualifies as worst.
And a dog I had for almost 17 years passed away. So
oh, man.
that wasn't real good, but I did manage to. My daughter graduated from college, so she's getting ready to go to a physician's assistant school now. So.
Oh, cool.
So she'll be doing that.
Heath says hello, Rusty.
Well, hello, Heath. Yeah, it's probably not as cold where I'm at as where Heath is. It's about 60 degrees outside. So.
Yeah, a balmy 60 out in Mississippi, huh?
That's kind of cold down here. I live down on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, about as far. I live about 2 blocks from the beach that we have here, so I don't live very far from the water.
Cool. Is it a beach that people actually go out and go to the beach?
Not really. It's not like you can drive about 1.5 hours, 2 hours over to Pensacola and Navarre Beach and all that. So it's like, and it's not all that nice because the water is real shallow and it goes to some flats out there that just doesn't really have a lot of waves or anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Good place to kind of go hang out, and we got a 5-mile long like sidewalk we can walk back and forth on. I usually get my exercise in that, and I did lose about 55 pounds this year though.
Wow, that's really good. Was it mostly through exercise, or did you have to change your diet too?
Exercise and quit going to my favorite seafood joints and pizza joints and stuff. So I live close enough that I can walk to a lot of places here. I lived in San Diego or actually in Mesa. I worked in San Diego a few years ago for about a year, and I got used to just being able to walk around everywhere. And when I bought a house here, I come back and bought a little fixer-upper house. That way I could walk everywhere I wanted to go. That's
pretty cool. I now, you may have told me this before, but I don't remember if I asked you, but when you were living in San Diego, did you ever go see the La Mesa Club layout?
Oh yeah. Every weekend, it seems like. I went out to Campo to that museum down there. That was pretty cool too. I did one video on that, which I got a lot of views on. I was going to do a series on it. I need to do my next part of that series. I got a bunch of still pictures, a few little videos with some stuff out there that were pretty interesting. But
right. Well, I guess we should probably mention that. Yeah, we should probably mention that you have a YouTube channel, Possum Bayou, that's worth looking at.
Yeah,
anybody watching.
I've been on it about a year doing this. As another place talking about living in California, I used to go on a lot of times the weekends was as a short track model railroad club in Vista, California. It's at the Antique Steam and Gasoline Engine Museum.
Mm-hmm.
If you like old tractors and bulldozers and trucks and things like that, that's a good place to go too. But they're basically in scale. They got a huge layout in there. I mean, it's huge.
Very cool. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Yeah, it's worth it. If you ever get down that way, it's worth a trip.
Yeah, excellent. Cool. Do you have any plans for? I'm sorry, Rusty. I keep talking when you're talking. Do you have plans for 2021 that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I plan on getting this layout going again. I had to take up, completely redone it. I got the bench work up again, but no track on it yet. I'm kind of figuring out what I want to do with that, and probably do some more videos, some road trips here and there. Maybe there's some train shows again, because the last train show we had here was in March, and I did like a video on it, but it was like the next day they closed everything down for the video. So I mean, not for the video, but for cause of COVID with everything. So the next weekend we wouldn't have been able to do it.
Right.
I'll just show you real quick. Here's kind of the room I got over here.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Alvin?
That's legit. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to repaint the room and everything, so it was a darker green and everything. But I said, yeah, we'll make it just light blue. So basically, just took everything apart and moved. I basically built the other layout in, modular like sections, and it was easier to take it apart. I had to modify a couple of them, but I got it in here.
Did you have a chance last week? I don't remember seeing you in the chat, but did you have a chance to watch our video about modular railroads?
Yeah, I watched it, but I don't think I caught it when it was live though. But I've seen
it. Okay. Yeah. Well, cool. Sounds like you have plans and things are going good. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of good stuff going on with losing the weight. Sounds like a good thing.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to tell us about, or?
No, not really.
Well, I want to thank you for calling. It's good to see you, and Happy New Year, man. And thanks for continuing to watch and support the channel. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, man. You take care, right?
All right, too.
Okay, bye.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like he has about at least twice as much bench work as you have for your layout right now.
Yeah, Yeah, I just got a little thing, a 2x8.
That's also what she said.
Yep.
Hey, you walked right into that one, buddy. I was thinking that's a pretty custom chair you got there.
My chair?
Yeah.
You want to see
Look at that.
Yeah. That's folds right up, nice and skinny. Just,
You can take it with you anywhere. It's lightweight.
Yeah. It's pretty legit, man. It's
Seems
a nice
like
chair.
it.
I also got this dog over here.
She's legit too.
She's legit. You see the show? See the show?
We know that dog.
Yeah. She loves to watch TV. So
she looks like she was looking at the screen too.
yeah, no, she's smart. Tired. She's way smart. If she can hear you, she could probably.
You should tell the viewers about her. What's her name?
This is Lily.
Yeah.
She's I forget if it's Irish cream or English cream, golden retriever. So she's on the lighter side of the golden. She's 4 years old. She's our baby.
Yeah.
She's a cutie.
And I can tell everybody she loves to snuggle on the couch.
Loves to snuggle. Oh
Yeah.
man. She's a snuggling dog.
For sure.
She's very cute. She's been rubbing her nose lately. And it's getting kind of bloody. But she knows how to. Lily, shake. Can you shake? No, she doesn't want to shake. Oh, there's my other dog.
Now Phoebe's getting jealous.
Phoebe's getting jealous.
Phoebe also likes to snuggle. Phoebe wants to snuggle you more if Lily is snuggling you.
Yep. That's that dog.
I know that that's true too. She is the jealous dog.
So this other dog, this is Phoebe. She's a lab mix with a Leon Burger, I guess. And a Leon Burger is Great Pyrenees, Bernese Mountain Dog, and another one, I forget. 3 dogs breeded together and then bred back with one. That's what the people said anyway.
The important thing is that she's a snuggler and she's sweet.
She's a snuggler. Yeah. Every single night before I go to bed, she lays right here on my chest.
Yep.
Breathes in my face for about 5 minutes.
Luckily, though, as I recall, neither one of those dogs has really bad breath most of the time, so that's good.
They do now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, hey, a quick shout out to Manny and Michelle. Thanks for the super stickers. It's very cool. Really appreciate that. So let's go to our next caller, shall we? We have Alex waiting to come on. So,
hi,
hello,
John.
Alex. Hey, how's it going? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I think last time I saw you was at Niles Canyon, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it was almost a year ago. We were out there chasing the steam trains. Or you actually rode it, though, didn't you, for the Laro charter?
Yep. I was the only West Coast rail fan riding.
Oh, isn't that something?
Yep.
So tell us about your best and worst of 2020.
Well, I do have some good. Well, first of all, in February, like you said, the Laro charter, I really enjoyed that charter. It was the best one that Niles and Laro Production ever done. And I even created an album about all the photos I taken.
Oh, look at that. You posted that to Facebook too, didn't you?
Yeah, but this time, this is with the edits. Half of them are in black and white, and half are in color.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So your best thing was definitely the charter?
Yeah, but that was not the only best thing. I think in October, the California State Rail Museum brought out the Amtrak F40 for the first time in 15 years, and now they're operating the F40 on their regular excursions. So that was really something nice.
I saw someone had posted something about that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yep.
What about the worst of 2020? Did anything bad happen? Or
I think the only worst part of 2020 was they canceled of the Polar Express at the Railroad Museum.
yeah,
Because COVID and stuff.
right?
Yeah.
I think everybody was dealing with that, and it wasn't just here. I mean, there were, like, we were talking to Mitch earlier from Australia, and they went on a complete lockdown. Like, it was even stronger of a lockdown than anything that we had going on in the States. So,
Isn't Australia almost back to normal though?
what's that, Alvin?
Isn't Australia almost back to normal though?
Well, I think I think they were getting back to normal, but then there was another little scare that happened, and I think they locked down again. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so what? Any plans, Alex, for 2021 before we let you go?
Well, for 2021, my plans are to get back to YouTube since I've been gone for the whole year because I've been busy with college and this whole COVID lockdown. And also, there are a few anniversary events coming up, John. I know you're not familiar with, but the Pacific Locomotive Association will celebrate its 60th anniversary this year. So Niles might do some events if the pandemic allows. And even the California State Rail Museum will celebrate its 40th anniversary too. So yeah. Right. So 2021 has some events if this pandemic gets under control, hopefully.
Right. Very good. Well, I guess we'll find out together.
Yep.
So, and hope to see you out there sometime this year, Alex.
Same as you, John. Same as you.
Okay, you take care, right?
You too, John.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Cool. All right. So there we have it. Yeah, we see Alex every so often when we're out doing our Chasing Trains videos or just out rail fanning. He's around quite a bit. So I think I know everybody or pretty much everybody that's called in here today. So
that's
yeah.
I did get to hang out with Brandon Bader. He came through Salt Lake and I was able to take him on a tour.
I was hoping that he'd be watching tonight, but he must be busy tonight doing something.
That's okay.
I thought that was kind of cool though, Alvin, to be able to hook you guys up and you got to go hang out for a day, right? Rail fanning, whatever.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I wish we had more time though, because there's way more stuff I could have showed him.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I took him to that sandwich shop that we ate lunch at for the NMR convention.
Right. Very cool.
He really liked that. It was pretty good.
He
said he's coming back in July.
Is he?
Yeah.
Maybe by then we'll have our what do you call it? The pandemic under control enough to where people are able to travel and we come out there and hang out, what we didn't get to do in 2020, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, you ready for another caller?
Yeah, for sure.
I just noticed something. Brandon is watching.
There he is.
Dude, yeah, why isn't this guy calling in? What the hell?
I don't know.
He's got his favorite guy.
You got to give him his t-shirt, man.
Ready for my train crew shirt, Alvin. What? Oh, I see. Alvin, what up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got your size now, Brandon, and we're going to be going through the TSG train crew Patreon thing sometime probably this week. And I'll be sending out the mugs and t-shirts to whoever's due. Usually it takes us, a week or two because Patreon is a little bit behind. You know what I mean? Like I don't get an accurate accounting from them until like the first week of the month. So it's usually the second week of the month when we go through and send out all that stuff. So, but yeah, dude, you should call in and let us know what your best and worst of 2020 was, or was. Yeah.
It's still happening.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, what say we go to our next call? You ready?
Ready.
Hey, Paul.
Hello, mic check. Hello.
We're good. What's going on? Happy New Year.
There it is.
Oh, what's up? I've
What's
seen
your
you
best
guys
and
at
worst?
the train show before.
Who,
So I
us or
remember.
him?
Yeah. Long
Was it at
time
the-
ago.
Was it at the train show in Salt Lake City or one of the ones in the
Nah,
Bay
like,
Area?
Maybe like 3 years ago. It was
Oh,
in
must
the
have
Bay
been in the Bay
Area.
Area then.
I think he was in Richmond or something. I
Oh,
don't
very
remember.
cool. Yeah, last time I was in Richmond when the train show was there, I went with my friends Kevin and CJ, and CJ's dad was there. Oh, I thought you were handing me something. And that's where I met John Dyson, Wicked Seafood. So yeah, I think I met a lot of people at that show.
You guys still playing that Fallout 4?
I still have it, and I haven't played it in quite some time. But I did get Assassin's Creed Valhalla for my birthday this last year, and wasted probably a week playing that.
What happened to the spike system?
The golden spike system isn't being used right now because I switched from doing critical reviews to doing product spotlights, where I'm just showing people how a model comes out of the box.
Cool.
Yeah. So what was your worst and your best of 2020? Seems like maybe he's a little distracted. So it sounds like Paul and Trevor want to call in. You remember those guys, Alvin, from the Garden Railroad?
Yeah.
We got to get them on here.
Get them on here. Tell them to send it. One thing that did suck for 2020 that I didn't mention was my club got shut down.
No, right? That's right.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't because COVID, surprisingly. There was an earthquake, and the building that we were in was deemed unsafe. So the city kind of kicked us out.
Yeah.
And a lot of our stuff is still down there. But I think we might have found a new place. So hopefully we can start going that way. So that really sucked, 2020 in March. I haven't been able to run a train for a while.
Yeah.
But
well,
now we got the day out.
I remember that building, and I remember that it reminded me a lot of an old building that I used to rehearse in for band practice when I used to play in a band. And that building probably also should have been condemned because it didn't seem really that good. And I remember when I went to your club, that building reminded me a lot of the old building I used to rehearse in. So I wasn't really surprised, to be honest, when I heard that it shut down, but I was disappointed, because I know how much you like to go run trains. So,
well, man, I love running trains.
Yeah. But you got to come out here and you got to run trains on Dave Adams' layout. You got to visit Jack Burgess's layout. You got to run trains at the SBHRS. You got to run trains at Dave Stanley. So you did a lot of running trains when you came out last year. That was good.
I did a lot of trains.
Yeah.
I ran on Gary's layout.
Yeah, on Gary's layout too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't even think about that. So here, we're going to bring up Paul and Trevor. And we usually don't do this, but I'm going to bring these guys on at the same time. This is a package deal. Look at these guys. If you see one of the Santa Cruz joggers, you see them both.
Yep, I guess that's the case.
Generally speaking. What was your guys' best and worst of 2020?
I don't know. I think we have a like co-best of 2020. Like getting the Fern Creek and Western rebuilt was high up on the list.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was when I came to visit you. What the hell?
No, that was definitely one of the low points.
That was one of the worst times. Yeah.
Yeah, for me too. So it's all good.
That was actually a good day though when you came to visit because that was kind of the culmination of that whole rebuilding experience. And that was rewarding because that was 9 months of toiling away and just building and building and building and never running anything. And then finally we actually got to run something. It was really nice.
Yeah. And, I know that I've had a chance now to express how impressed I was with what you guys did with the layout. I mean, the rebuild and nothing derailed. It ran like a dream. I mean, that was, I'm serious. I was really impressed.
I wouldn't say nothing derailed, but it was
Close
definitely.
to it, but yeah, we really appreciate that. That's
Yeah,
after all the time that we spent on that, like building a railroad like this, you have to almost enjoy just the building aspect as much as the running aspect, right? Because most of the time, Trevor, Eric, and I aren't running trains when working on the railroad. We're just, doing stuff that most of the time people wouldn't necessarily consider the most fun. But we think the result of doing it pays off in the end when stuff doesn't derail and it looks really nice. So, yeah.
Oops.
Every compliment helps.
Right, and I have to say, like, because of this, the railroad, because of COVID at least, the railroad looks the best now, I think, than it has ever, and is running the best. Even in January, it's still running and looking good, which is, usually it's gone by the wayside this time of year because I'm not around or I'm at work, and now it's just, we're able to put a lot more time into it than normal.
Absolutely.
Which is really nice.
Yeah. I just noticed, Paul, that's a pretty custom looking shirt you're wearing there.
Oh yeah. I wonder who made this.
That looks familiar.
Paul, did you put that on just for this, or were you actually?
I have, yeah.
Of course he did. What do you think, Trevor? But I noticed it has the wrong logo on it. How did that happen?
It's not the wrong logo. It's just
the original logo. Yeah.
This is the one we like to put on letterheads, and shirts and things. But the other one, the problem with that one is it doesn't print for decals at all. It looks horrible when it's on a decal for a car anyway. So we designed the second version, or Paul designed the second version, so that it looked more like something that would be stenciled onto a car. That was why the second version got designed.
This is like an artistic rendering kind of thing that, would have been in like paperwork or something like that. But yeah, the other logo wasn't going to print, or this logo wasn't going to print right. So I designed something much simpler that, would print easier and with straight lines and stuff. And it looks more like it could be spray painted on the car sort of thing. Yeah.
There's a funny comment. They want to know if you're wearing your Fern Creek shirt.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm wearing Still Plays with Trains. and actually, so for Christmas, Paul's mom got me a shirt. Yeah, he didn't know about it until she gave it to me, but she got me this shirt. Hold on, I gotta run and get it real quickly. It's too big.
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. Well, while Trevor's out running away, I wanted to thank James for watching and also for making up a super chat thing. Guys like us donate. Wow. Thank you very much, James. I appreciate that. The last time we had one this big, I think it was you, Paul.
I think I dropped a 50 bomb once. Yeah,
you did. You dropped it was an F bomb, but it was a 50 bomb.
Yeah, 50 bomb. For all those times you
ready for this?
Okay, what is this going to be? It better be G-rated.
This. I'll do it like scrolling text and read it off as it goes. Warning: I may spontaneously talk about trains.
Oh boy.
But the only problem with this is it's not spontaneous if I'm talking about it all the time.
That's true. But as soon as you start talking, you spontaneously talk about trains.
If it's not prompted,
Yeah. Now I do have a question. I saw today that there was a post on Facebook that Dusty the railroad dog had died in December. Yeah. And, when we came out there to deliver the shirts, I didn't see Dusty. But I can't imagine that was Dusty there when we were there? Do you remember?
What?
Was Dusty the railroad dog there when we were out?
Yeah, it was after you guys were out here. I think it was right before Christmas.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
or like a week before Christmas or something.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that.
Yeah, he wasn't doing very well at the end, so but he's in a better place now, and Eric is already on the search for a new mascot at this point. So
right,
Eric always wants to have a dog, and
he's a
that's
dog lover.
And so he's a dog lover, and so soon enough there'll probably be another mascot. But Dusty certainly had a last good year.
That's what I was thinking, and I think I posted to that effect on the.
Eric definitely did the right thing, giving Dusty a good home for the last year.
Walked him all the time.
I was going to say, didn't he just adopt him like right before it came out?
Dusty was we thought about 12, but it turned out to be more like 13 or 14 when Eric got him.
Yeah, he was up there, and you could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Dusty, Alvin, when you came out here.
Yeah, I met Dusty. We drove down his street to go look at the beach from the park.
Uh-huh.
And as we were walking back to the car, Eric was walking up with the dog.
Oh, that's right, on one of his walks. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So
kicked us out. I gotta go for a walk.
Yeah. So is there anything else, guys, that you wanted to mention on the show before we go? Because I have another caller waiting that
Did we actually go through the best and worst?
I think you talked about the best being the redevelopment of the railroad.
That was one best. I'll say the other best was I got to fire more this year than any other year in recent memory for me. That was pretty good. That was the one thing about running trains all the time, so running a lot of trips and running steam every day to make up for lost time was that I was almost 5 days a week of just firing.
That's a lot of experience doing it. Mm-hmm. Now, and here I was thinking you were going to say the second best thing was when I came to visit.
Oh, no. Sorry.
Not even that.
Was it the third best time?
I'd put it in the top 5.
Oh, okay. I can live with that.
That shows you what a wonderful year it's been if we put John visiting in the top 5.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, right? Usually that wouldn't even be anywhere near the top 5.
Yeah, it was a highlight of my year to get out there too. So imagine how good it was for me.
All right. Well, dead air here.
Trevor, you're looking at me like that time when I was telling you Merry Christmas, friend. Like, is this guy serious right now?
Merry Christmas,
friend. Yeah. No,
I'm laughing the same way.
I would say one of the worst things of this year was not getting to do our normal holiday lights train foaming from the balcony of the Thai restaurant.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. That is something I have been looking forward to for the past couple of years. That was a great tradition.
All of us with our phones.
Actually, to answer the final part of the question, which is what was the worst thing? Yes. I think Paul and I can both agree the worst thing was not having Halloween this year.
Right?
Oh, yeah. That threw off my whole yearly compass. Because we didn't do our regular Halloween thing, I didn't know what month it was. Because we've been doing that consistently for, I don't know how many years. Yeah.
Well, right. But wasn't that the day, though, that we did the sort of soft open of the railroad? I think it was that weekend.
It was one of the days. We did the soft open was like in September. We did the thing on Halloween because it was the day before my 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It was the birthday thing. That's right.
Yeah.
But even still, it wasn't the same. Well, I mean, it was amazing, but it wasn't. I still miss Halloween, and we'll do it this year if we can. Hopefully, bigger and better.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned these things, and these are things that I also look forward to every year. And it sucked not being able to do those things. Plus, we were supposed to do the second annual live steam up. That didn't happen. I mean, so hopefully,
you'll be happy to know the big thing on the docket for this year is that Paul and I and Eric have finally been working towards doing. Oh, I'm not allowed to talk about it?
You can say a little bit of it.
Okay.
Well, you can tell me. I'm not going to tell anybody.
Let's
just put it this way. In the last couple of weeks, we've been putting in a lot of spurs on the railroad and talking about operations-oriented ideas.
Yeah, so op sessions.
We'll just put that out there and say we're working towards that for 2021.
Very cool. And I don't know if you guys would be interested in this. Sorry, Alvin, did you want to say something?
I have a question.
Okay.
Is your guys' layout is there power to the tracks or is the locomotive power?
No, it's all dead rail.
Yeah.
It's either battery or live steam.
Okay.
What I was going to say is, I don't know if he's still watching, and I don't know if you guys would be interested in having some input from someone who basically was a co-author of the OpSig book about operations. But Seth Newman, I saw him saying hello a minute ago in here, might be someone worth looking at your operating plan and get some ideas from if you're interested. I could probably...
we are always open to more input, always.
Okay.
Because Paul and I got all of our experience basically on one railroad, so we haven't seen how other people have done it. We got all of our experience on Jim Bale's railroad.
Jim Bale's. Wow.
So, we have only seen how he did it, not really how other people have done it.
Yeah, maybe sometime when we're able to do it, I'll bring Seth over and have a look at what you guys are planning. I mean, if it means anything to you, what I've seen looks great, and I can't wait to operate on it. And I've done a few op sessions on various railroads too. So, but Seth is one of these guys that has operated probably on every railroad, every private railroad around, or most of them. So, and we should get Alvin out here for that.
Yes, that would be great. And if people that are willing to operate, we'd love to have them because we're looking for people once that day does come.
Trevor, you're talking to the guy that knows all the people who are willing to operate. Believe me, I know a lot. As one of the people that's waiting to talk right now is probably willing to operate too. So, as a matter of fact, I'm sure he is, because one of the people who's waiting, and I hope he stays with us because I want to talk to him, does operate on a garden railroad up at Ray Turner's. Remember I told you about that big one on the East Hill?
Yeah, I've actually been watching all the videos about his railroad and how he does his car forwarding on JMRI, because that's what I'm thinking of doing.
Yeah, and Murph is one of the people that operates on Ray's layout whenever he does operations, and he also does dead rail. So there are a lot of parallels. So
very good. Well, I'm sure we'll be talking a lot coming up here about that.
Lots to happen, lots to come.
Yeah, that'll be really fun.
So stay tuned on the Facebook page for that.
Yeah, well, let's tell people what it is. I don't know that everybody watching will know. Trevor and Paul co-operate or work on the Fern Creek and Western. There it is. Fern Creek and Western.
Very fancy logo display.
Yeah, I just and I just got a message from the top secret producer, says that Sparky has to come operate too. But the last time he ran a train on the Fern Creek and Western, he broke your water tower.
Well, don't worry. That water tower is now on the log branch, so
but he'll find a way
to break it.
Yeah, he's good like that.
He's still allowed to run. We have nothing against his running ability. It was just a happy accident.
Don't worry. We have had far more spectacular accidents than that.
Yeah, like I just broke your Shay the other day again. And
he broke the gear cover off my Shay again for the third time the other day.
Weren't you showing us that, Paul, on one of those videos?
And I haven't repaired it yet, so.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, good times coming.
That's right.
Cool. Anything else going on, or? That's it, huh? Should we go?
I think we should, yeah. Before we just...
You guys,
everyone falls asleep.
You guys forgot something else that was the best of 2020.
Oh,
Nancy! Sorry, Paul is hurting his ears.
I'm having PTSD.
I am too. Believe me.
Yeah.
I don't want to end up as a hood or.
Actually, you know what? That reminds me of one more best of 2020.
Okay, we'll do one more, then we'll go.
Okay, being a freight conductor.
That
right. That was pretty cool.
That's right. As a matter of fact, you did that same day.
Yeah, I did. That's what reminded
me. We foamed you when you were conducting.
That's right.
That was pretty cool.
We foamed the friendliest friendliest train crew in Watsonville.
That's right.
And I had the spiciest beef jerky.
That's right. We had all kinds of fun that day.
Oh, yeah.
And the ironic thing, I don't know if you guys got to watch the podcast yet, but the ironic thing about all that is I still haven't been able to release the Chasing Trains video yet.
I know.
Oh yeah, I watched. Yeah, you said you haven't. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of these days, everyone will know what we're talking about.
Yep. One of these days, everybody gets to see the Chasing Trains video. And also, one of these days, Alvin and I have a secret that happened on another Chasing Trains video that we weren't able to talk about. But one of these days, we'll be revealing that too.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
All right.
Your heels.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Thanks for calling, guys. Happy New Year.
Yay. Bye.
Bye, guys. Oh, this is great. Okay. So it's just so you know, it's 5:35. So we have about another 25 minutes to go here, Alvin. So you're so talkative. I just wanted to make sure you know you don't have to stay in too much longer.
No, I just don't want to interrupt anyone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You weren't there for some of that stuff. I apologize. You feel free to ask questions, dude. What are you doing?
I heard the story. I know what it's about.
Don't just sit there with your thumb up. I mean, you know.
Whoa.
Exactly. You gotta watch out.
She keeps licking me.
Who is?
My thumb is in Lily's mouth. She keeps licking me.
She's sucking your thumb?
Oh, she's licking me.
Oh. She's such a sweet pooch.
She's so cute.
Yeah. Let's talk to Murph. I know what his worst was. Hey, look at this guy.
Guys.
There
Murph,
he is.
how's it going?
Really good. I had a wonderful Christmas break, kind of unintentionally. You know, normally Christmas break you go visit family and all that, and you're running around, you're getting tired, but you know, hobby wise you don't get a lot done. But holy cow, don't have that excuse this time. I'm coming up with a whole new round of excuses. So
right. So we should Alvin, you didn't get to meet Murph when you were out here.
I didn't get to meet Murph. No.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to arrange that the next time because Murph, look at this guy. You got the custom. Was that the best of what happened in 2020, Murph?
you know, I hate to say it, but that probably was.
When you got your train crew wine glasses.
Yeah. I'd actually kidded John about you really need wine glasses, and all of a sudden the next time John and Sydney are up, they bring a set of wine glasses for me, and I cherish them. I hand wash them. Yeah. Obviously, the worst was having to evacuate the house.
Right.
Our house is like right in the middle of the Santa Cruz Mountains in Boulder Creek, and the fire actually, it burned down our upstairs garage, which I'd heard. I think Dave Falkenberg last week mentioned something on the modular railroading thing about he lost a lot of modules that were stored in a friend's upstairs garage.
Yeah, I knew exactly what he was talking about.
Yeah. I was telling people that were like, you know, it's really sad you lost all that stuff. And I said, well, for the most part, that the stuff that was up there were on my list of things to do. And one of the things to do was redistribute out all those modules to whoever's going to get them out of my upstairs garage, taking space. There were a couple computers where I was going to destroy all data on these computers. Done. Just like that. The whole thing burned down.
Well, it shortened your to-do list. So, I mean, there is a silver lining in the smoke, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing is it actually ended up singeing the winery/railroad room.
Uh-huh.
And so my contractor, Johnny, got it all fastened back up about a month later. And then about a week after that, it started raining. So I was really glad he did, because it was the roof of the winery that actually got hit. And there was a fairly big gaping hole that I think a lot of the local wildlife took refuge in here, and not the nice little deer and cute things, more like wood rats and etc.
Oh, wow.
So we had quite a time kind of getting the place cleared back out again. So it was good to get that all sealed up and that kind of thing. The damage up here is pretty amazing. It's like I have redwoods 10 feet from the house, and they are singed 30 to 40 feet up the trunks. So, it was bad, and it was really close, and we were really lucky. Half the neighborhood got wiped out. So,
yeah.
All in all, as far as bad things go, I got it pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of people that had it a lot worse than that. So,
Exactly.
You know,
On a more positive front, I actually, during this extended Christmas break, got some trackage down and have half of the Felton switching area with switches, etc., that I can actually manipulate it. I'm working on my ground cover and that kind of stuff, and I tried my hand at painting a backdrop and that sort of thing. So it's been kind of exciting and fun.
are you interested in going to operate at the Garden Railroad in Santa Cruz?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know,
Right.
as long as we have social distancing and all that kind of happiness, I'm ready to go.
Okay. Well, I'm figuring that they're probably going to be doing that after that's not necessary anymore, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I'm there, I stink a little bit, so you want to socially distance from me anyway.
I'll probably just keep the mask on just for that.
Yeah, it's probably worth it. I might wear my mask just because I look better with it.
Yeah, well, there's that. Yeah.
Man. So, but I
will
kind
say
of
that one of the
What?
hardest things about social distancing is there's always that character that you want to stay away from. But now that social distancing is in place, they think that it's okay, and they try to talk to you anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that happened to me at the auto parts store, and I was like,
I
the
just
challenges.
you know, you get so you really notice the people that really have to like come up and talk to you like this, and you're like, stay away, please.
yeah.
Let's face it, I'm
They're
a
6
big
feet away
at-risk
from you
guy.
started, and they're still right there.
I'm like Mr. Comorbidity, so I really don't want this thing.
Right?
So,
Yeah, we definitely. No, I don't think anybody wants to catch it, right? I mean, look, it could be fatal to a lot of us. And I know that I don't want to give it to someone and have that be the cause of them not being with us anymore. That sucks.
yeah. Yeah.
So, you got to think about, I think about that. I know there are a lot of people that don't care about anybody else. So they don't, just don't bother with it. And it's too bad. But there's a question for you, Murph, it's funny. We got a caller with someone's asking you, Trevor, who was just on a minute ago, talking about the Garden Railroad, wants to know what you model. And when you answer that, I would also request, if you don't mind, to tell people what's so unusual about your layout.
So I'm doing what in the old days used to be called proto-freelancing. My previous layout was modern day modeling of Tehachapi. And it was a little bit overzealous, I think. There was a lot of railroad in the room. And so I decided to make some changes this time around. And it's kind of more like a bookshelf layout that's fairly large. And what it does is it proto-freelances what if the Union Pacific still came through Santa Cruz and all the way up the San Lorenzo Valley where I live, past my house, and then there was a tunnel going all the way through to Saratoga. And so the main line will be running like big 6-axle units, and the branch lines into each community will be running Jeeps, that sort of thing. And part of it is kind of, okay, why would we have a railroad here? And so I'm going to do my fixes to the communities that I'd really like to see. For instance, in Felton, I'm including a deadfall wood reclamation area that will be taking in, like, I don't know, logs laying on the ground from a fire and that sort of stuff, and either making it into actual usable wood or wood chips for pellets for fireplaces and that kind of thing. Then Felton actually also ends up with a marijuana edibles or cannabis edibles manufacturing facility served by rail car. We're doing a lot.
They're sending them straight to Salt Lake City.
Yeah. And Ben Lohman has an expanded recycling facility that can handle everything, and you don't have to sort the plastics into 12 different bins, because that's my pleasant future. And it actually ends up recycling them. Boulder Creek, of course, will have Spring Creek Vineyards on as a stop, and it's actually going to have a tourist rail. It'll have a tourist rail service going there, as well as it'll be shipping wine although not in tank cars. I'll actually be using reefer cars and that kind of stuff.
Let's tell people what Spring Creek Vineyards is.
Spring Creek Vineyards is me and my brother-in-law and my contractor friend Johnny, and I've been involved in making wine as a hobby since 1999, and we've produced a lot of wine, and we don't sell it. We only give it to friends, as John knows.
It's very good too. So, and thank you. I got that last bottle from Seth recently. We haven't opened it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
So the actual making the wine, all the barrels are stored underneath the railroad, as is a whole lot of bottles of wine. And we actually make the wine. That's why I call it the winery/railroad room. All the bottling equipment's in there. We do a lot of the processing, fermentation, and that kind of thing, and then storage of the wine. So
and the tasting.
Yes, there's of course. So it's legit. It actually really is a winery.
And the most unusual thing about the layout is the fact that the height has to be tall enough so that all that stuff fits under it. So I the first time I saw the Tehachapi layout that you had, Murph, I was pretty blown away just from the fact that you were able to fit so much in there, plus the winery. And I think that your new layout, at least from the pictures that you've been sharing and from what I've seen from when I was there, I think the new layout might be worth doing a layout tour on. What do you think?
Yeah, once I actually have more main line up and that sort of thing. I'm trying to go along and actually scenic as I go along and that sort of thing. The thing I'm falling behind on is starting to put up layout lighting versus the room lighting. And so I've got to get over to that too. I know I want to do that. It's kind of funny. I talked to John at first when I was designing the layout about, okay, what color temperature lights do I want to have, and et cetera. So I since it was a brand new thing going in, I put in the new LED things up in the ceiling, kind of like these, only these are warm in comparison to those in the layout room. The layout room's like, I think they're 5,000 K lights. And it's really bright in there.
Over your shoulder there?
What's that?
Is it like the one over your shoulder?
This here is the man cave. I've got, let me see. Behind me, you can see an airbrush station. This is where I keep my paints and a lot of my wargaming minis. 3D printer. And then this is where I actually do a lot of work painting things or assembling models and that sort of stuff. Back that way, we got the
that's
TV.
us.
Yeah.
He's watching us.
Yeah, there we are. Check that out.
And you can kind of see the layout room back there. Let me see. I'm going to flip the.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He flipped the camera and accidentally turned himself off.
Yeah, he's gone.
He'll figure it out in a minute, I think.
Uh-oh.
But that's one thing we should definitely do the next time you come out here, Alvin, is go visit Murph, and you can check out his layout. It's pretty cool. He's trying to come back on, so let's try this.
Okay.
There he is.
It won't let me successfully flip the camera. I'm sorry.
That's interesting. I wonder what happened.
Hang on 1 second. It's got to catch up supposedly with the microphone, etc.
Oh, I'm glad that you were able to connect at all, Murph, because I know that wasn't something like this won't work on Safari or something. Did you put it on a different computer or what?
I'm actually doing this on my laptop. And unfortunately, I actually haven't updated it lately. And they say, well, if you update it, all your troubles will be gone. And I'm like, if I update this, it'll be 7 o'clock before I'm done. So you're stuck with semi-stuttering me right now. I hope it isn't coming through to the YouTube feed that way.
No, it's not. It sounds fine.
Okay, good. Anyway, I'll have to walk with you this way. Yeah, as you can see here, you even have like wine press.
Wow.
So you're going to show us the lights? Is that what this is?
This is the winery / layout room, and I'll try not to make you seasick.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in there.
Yeah. but I could see backdrops painted, which looks nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Looking forward to actually, I need to figure out a time to make a little excursion up there anyway for the other things that we were talking about before, Murph. And
Yeah.
I'm still working on that. I got a few projects that I need to finish video wise before I can make a trip like that. And I'm hoping to do it when there's a little bit nicer weather. Like I wouldn't have wanted to drive up there today. It looked like it was rainy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd prefer to do it on dry roads if possible.
Yeah, locally things were fine, but I don't know how good it would have been on either Bear Creek Road or Highway 9.
Right. Yeah. So what do you think are the plans for 2021? I have another caller calling in that I want to get to. So I want to try to wrap up if we can.
Yeah. For me, just moving along on the main line and that sort of stuff. Once I get one town done where I can fiddle around with switching and that sort of stuff, I'll probably relax into that and then just focus on the main line and do a little bit of staging, that sort of stuff. I got a lot of stuff in boxes that I'd like to get out.
Cool. Other
than that, we're having fun time at the SVL as well. I don't know if you had anybody else on from there. We're doing remote ops. I dispatch for remote ops from my bedroom with multiple computer screens up, plus something else going. I have the Apple TV showing the actual camera feeds from the SVL layout where people are running trains. Honestly, It's the least blind I've been as a dispatcher the whole time. I actually get to watch trains a little bit, so I enjoy it.
Maybe we should mention that because you're using the initials SVL. I don't know that everybody watching knows that Silicon Valley Lines. I just talked about the ops and the virtual open house on the podcast this past weekend that happened at Silicon Valley Lines.
Yeah.
And I guess that would actually ring a bell for people watching. Murph is the one who's usually dispatching that. Actually, you were on, I think, most of the videos that I've done down at SVL too, doing that.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, as well as the Model Railroading 101 about the DCC in the box. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So
so the Silicon Valley Lines for remote ops, it's been pretty cool. We actually had a guy in England running one of the through trains on the layout, and he was able to watch his train. We have a camera mounted going forward. Yeah, those are Warhammer 40K minifigs. It's amazing what you can do now. The guys have camera cars in front of the train, so you can actually get the view from the front of the train live. And it's a treat. And we allow guests to come on in and give it a shot. So,
and I don't know if you knew this, Murph, but I actually ran a train at the open house. I didn't have any intention of doing it. I just was going to log on and watch and just to see how it was and maybe do a little screen capture so I could talk about it on the podcast, because I do think it's a really cool thing that you guys have been doing there. But I saw it and I was like, this looks like fun. So I made a donation of $5 or whatever it was, and I ran a train. I didn't expect to do it. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was more fun than I expected, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really expect anything. Do you know what I mean? But it was cool.
I was wondering how laggy it was.
It was a little bit, but I mean, although I do have to say, knowing the layout as well as I do made it more enjoyable, because I recognized, where I was, and I kind of knew when I was going to have to slow down and all that. So,
yeah.
But anyway. So cool. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. I wasn't expecting you to call in. I think this is the first time you've been on one of these call-in deals, huh?
I was on one other, I think, for a very brief period of time. It was an exciting thing going to StreamYard for yet another version of, hey, can somebody else do some kind of collaboration software, please?
Yeah, but this one is the one that I found that's easiest to use for me. So that matters.
Yeah.
So
yeah, once I got by the initial, you should really update your system. And then it had me install Chrome, and then it said, I can't use Chrome here.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're able to come on. It's nice to see you. One of these days, like I said, I'll be in touch with you and we'll talk about that other thing we need to do.
Sounds good.
And but thanks, man.
Y'all take care.
Yep,
Fabio,
I'll see you.
Good seeing you again.
I'll see you tomorrow on the Taco
Not
Tuesday.
virtual. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll see you then.
All right, take care, man.
Yeah, bye.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Yeah, that's one of the guys, Alvin, that I wanted you to meet when you were out here the first time. But there's only so much time, and we did what we could.
Yeah.
So, but we have to go to Joey. I don't know if you've met him. There he is. Happy New Year, Joey.
Hey, Happy New Year, guys.
You got a question for Alvin?
Do I?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll think of one.
But I do want to point something out before you talk about your best and worst of 2020. Alvin, check out his hat.
What does it say?
It's him.
That's
legit, dude.
I guess.
It is. It's professional.
Yeah, it's just, Vistaprint. You can put anything on a hat at Vistaprint.
Oh, is that where you get those?
Yeah. They're real cheap. They're like $12.
Cool. How many do you have?
Just one.
Oh, okay.
Until it's starting to get a little dirty along the edges, like little sweat stains, so I'll probably have to get a new one. They don't walk very well.
Cool. So what was your best and worst of 2020, Joey?
The worst was the hernia.
Oh, right. How's that going? You're still recovering, or?
Yeah, it's still, there's some pains, but the best was surviving it. So
yeah. How does that happen? I mean, I know sometimes people are doing lifting stuff or
yeah. So mine was an umbilical hernia, so it's right by the belly button.
Right.
And about, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, I was hitting the gym really hard, and I noticed I had this little flab thing forming. So I didn't think anything of it. Little did I know it was the start of a hernia, or it was a hernia, but it never really got bad because I stopped going to the gym and I started doing other things. So I didn't do a lot of strenuous activity until this year. I was trying to take down part of a tree, and I was tugging really hard, and it just popped right out.
Wow.
And, immediate call to 911.
So, I mean, when that happens, can you see it? You're like, oh my God, my belly is coming apart.
It's almost it was almost the size of I don't know, like an orange sticking out of my stomach.
Holy moly. Wow.
Did it break the skin?
No, it didn't. It was all just contained, but it hurt like hell.
Yeah. Well, I can see why that was the worst of 2020.
Yeah. So, thankfully with model railroading, there's not a lot of strenuous activity.
Well, I mean, if you're building though, I mean.
Well, yeah, carrying the wood down to build my next project I have to wait probably, I'll give it another week, maybe 2. Yeah.
So you're into your 4th or 5th week now of recovery, something like that?
This is the 6th.
Oh, okay. Well, so is it about a 6 to 8 week recovery? Because you have to have surgery for that, don't you?
Oh yeah, it was surgery. Yep, they had these little robot arms that went in and sutured it all up.
Wow.
I wasn't awake, thank God.
Yeah, really. I mean, you'll have a good scar though, a story to tell, I guess.
There's 4 scars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the four little arms that go in, and they do wonders. I guess I was out for an hour and a half. I don't remember.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I had some really crazy dreams.
Oh, during the I forgot was when I got my wisdom teeth out.
Yeah, I had all 4 taken out at once.
I had 5.
You had 5 wisdom teeth? How the hell do you get 5 wisdom teeth?
I've heard of it.
Wow. I still have my 2 wisdom teeth on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
But I remember though, when I was much, much younger, I think I was 14, something like that. Many, many years. Dude, it was almost 40 years ago. I went in to have oral surgery because I had impacted eye teeth. I don't know if you know what that is, where the teeth are, instead of coming down, they grow this way.
Oh, yeah.
So they had to cut it all out and get bands on them because I had braces at the time, and then gradually, slowly pull them down to be here where they are now.
Okay.
And when they did that, they gave me something. I don't know, dude. I don't know what it was, but going out of the place, I stood up and it was kind of like almost fell over.
Yeah.
And then for the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, I felt like I was just a head floating around. You know, like my body wasn't there and my head was just floating around. I don't know what that was, man, but that was wild.
Yeah, they gave me some pretty wild stuff when they took my wisdom teeth out too. It was kind of like that. I just felt like I was whizzing around the earth on a cloud.
Yeah, that's what it was like. And I remember, right?
But it wasn't like dizzy. It was just like a lot of motion.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, after like 45 minutes, I came out of it. I'm like, whoa.
Dude, they put this thing on my nose, you know, to get it started, I guess, whatever the gas is, nitrous or whatever. And they're like, how do you feel? And I was like, I did this. And the whole world was spinning. They were laughing at me. And like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah. Apparently they had to tell me to shut up because I kept saying all these stupid things. It was like, don't talk or it's going to wear off. So I shut right up.
A friend of ours took a video after her daughter had gone for some probably wisdom teeth. And she was saying such funny stuff like, I love taters. I want taters. You know, something like that. I was like, wow, I want some of whatever she had. Oh, man.
That's funny.
I guess I was swearing a lot when I was done.
You were swearing? Oh, that's even better.
Yeah. So my wife was like, we gotta go.
Oh, man. Oh. Well, I don't know. Not sure how we got on that. Oh, I know what it was. It was hernias.
Yeah.
That's how we got on that. Because I wanted to mention that we're kind of out of time. We were going to go until 6 my time, and it's 6 over here. So maybe we'll have you be the last call, Joey. So we're going to end it on a high note. I mean, I guess it was, huh? Yeah.
I'm actually pretty short, so it's kind of a short note, but
no, it's a high note because you were high after you got off your drugs from your surgery.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. So, but I am curious. So, if you have plans, right, for this year, right? Because we've been asking everybody the best and worst of 2020, but also if you have plans for 2021.
I do. It's to build a brand new HO layout.
Okay.
It's going to be a giant L shape that spans the width of my basement.
But it's not one that you're already working on, is it?
No, not yet. Right now it exists in AnyRail at the moment, and I have this program called SketchUp for building for my woodworking stuff. So I built in SketchUp all of the plans for what the modules are going to be constructed out of and how they're going to look and everything.
Right.
So it's going to be modular, and I'm going to take. I'll be able to take it apart and move it around. So when I do the woodworking stuff, it's not in the way, getting all dusty and all that stuff.
Yeah, because you have a little limit. You have a bit of a limited space, don't you, to work in?
Yeah.
That's it, huh? Yeah.
That's it.
I remember having a conversation with you about that once, and I think I told you I was really surprised because on your videos, it looks like you're working with a lot bigger space than that.
Yeah, I think it's about 15 by 12 that I have like workable space in. The rest there's just stuff.
Right. What's your space, Alvin, in your basement?
In
your place?
I haven't really measured it, but I could fit probably another 8 feet going, and then I could fit a 4x8 on this side. So my idea was to get a 4x8 and make a loop, and then tie it into my other layout. Here, I'll sketch you a thing real quick.
It sounds like you guys are working with similar size.
Yeah, it's pretty small. So my
this ought to be good.
Will be right here. It's good. I
can't see much.
Can you see that kind of?
It's a rectangle, yes.
So that's 4x8. Okay. And then I want to go this way and then attach into, this is my layout now. It's right there. And I want to do something like that.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have fairly it's not drawn to scale, apparently.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably. I mean, just by what you've estimated, it sounds like it's just a tiny bit bigger than what I've got going on.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the plan. Sorry, let me. I can't think
Hey, I know I said that you were going to be the last caller, Joey, but somebody's trying to get in that I really want to talk to on here.
No problem.
So hold tight. We'll keep you. You have more to say. I'll keep you on.
Oh, not really. I just wanted to say hi.
Well, I want to wish you a very happy New Year, and thank you very much for calling in and being on the train crew. It's really great and appreciated.
Well, it's worth it.
Thank you. I appreciate that too. Hopefully we'll see you some. By the way, we're going to do a virtual live thing here in a couple of weeks. I'm going to put a thing out on Patreon about that soon, and it'll probably be very interesting. So both of you guys probably are going to want to watch this one.
Cool. Look forward.
All right, man. Hey, thanks again. Happy New Year. Talk to you soon.
Happy New Year, guys.
Take care.
Yeah, good luck on your thing.
What's this guy?
There he is.
What's
How's
up,
it going,
Brandon?
guys?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, John and Alvin. How are you guys?
Good.
Got one thumb up for me anyway.
I'll give you two. I got two.
Well, I mean, I have another one, but I only was being lazy.
Okay.
So how's your 2020 stories, nightmare stories going? What was your best and worst 2020? And this will be the last call.
Okay. Worst of 2020. I'm going to have to go as far as the airline stuff goes. They closed my crew base in Atlanta. So for me living here in Georgia in the Atlanta area, now my trips do not start and end in Atlanta. I've got to go up to Detroit to do that now. So I moved up to the Detroit crew base.
Wow.
So that kind of sucks.
How do you deal with that? Do you just jump seat or whatever they call it to places?
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly it. Just kind of show up at the airport and, hey, can I catch a ride? And if they allow you to do it, great. And if not, hopefully you have another flight after that one that would still get you there before your trip starts.
But you don't get paid for that, do you?
No.
Okay, it's time to start looking for a new airline.
And actually, they just announced that the Detroit base is going to be reducing flying. So I did what's called a voluntary displacement over to Dallas.
Isn't Dallas closer for you, though?
I don't think Dallas is closer. Time-wise, I feel like Detroit is probably a little closer distance-wise, time-wise too. Dallas may be a little bit further away, but the main concern was just like the time zone thing. So now if the trip shows that I've got to start at, let's say, 8 a.m., that's 8 a.m. Dallas time, not 8 a.m. Atlanta time. So that's something to factor in as well. As opposed to going up to Detroit, it's all on the Eastern time.
Oh, you're same time zone? Yeah.
That's right.
Wow. So
there's a big boy in Texas that's not too far away from Dallas.
Are we going to go?
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, aren't you going back out to SLC in July? I think Alvin said something about that.
I am. So with the coronavirus stuff, every year we've got to go do our what we call recurrent training or continuing qualification at the airlines. Every year they bring you back to the training center where we go over all the emergency procedures with the aircraft, engine failures at the worst possible time. We practice everything in the simulator, make sure we're proficient before we continue flying revenue flights. And my base month for that is July, but when coronavirus happened, they kind of closed all the training centers. Everything got pushed around, and my training got pushed back to October, which was why I was able to meet up with Alvin then. But when training gets back onto the normal schedule, which it will for 21, I'll be back in July.
Okay. Well, maybe if it's okay to travel by then for at-risk people, maybe we'll come out too, because I wanted to get back to that area this year, or I should say 2020, which didn't happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe next year, or
in July.
Huh?
Do you know when?
I don't know when yet. The month before my base month for training happens, scheduling will send me an email that just says, hey, your training month is coming up next month, and then I have to bid for a day and bid for a time to do it, because the training center runs pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Based on your seniority determines what hours you get. So when I was there in October, because I wanted it, I took the 4 a.m. Time slot. But 4 a.m. for me, Salt Lake time, is actually 7 or 6 Eastern time. So that's fine for me. I'm okay with doing that, and it allows me to leave earlier on that last day and still get home maybe before dinner, because it wraps up so early. So I don't know when just yet, but as soon as I know, I'll bid for whatever and go from there.
Sweet.
Yeah, it would be fun to be able to hook up out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I want to get out there. Sorry, Alvin. What?
We could go up to Evanston. That's fun.
We could maybe try to find Kyle.
Yeah, let's go find Kyle.
Did you tell Brandon about Kyle?
I don't think I did tell him about Kyle.
Who's Kyle?
He's the messy kid.
He's the messy kid.
Okay.
When Gary and Alvin and I were chasing 4014, we went to Evanston and saw 4014 at the yard there. And I think it was after, or what was that after? It was after, right?
So we went to go look. We got there, we checked in, we went to go look at Big Boy. No, we ate, and then we went to go look at Big Boy. And then we thought, there's nothing else to do. So we went to go sit in there's an Asian garden or something there that we went to go sit by. And it's right up against the main line, like a couple of feet away. So we ended up sitting there, and these two kids on their bikes come over. One of them just chatting it up with us and telling us
he was the
about
boss. Yeah, that kid was the boss.
He's the boss. We're not sure if his name was Kyle, but that's what we call him.
Okay.
Yeah, we named him Kyle because we didn't know his name, but Alvin had a great conversation with this kid. And what was he? Maybe 12, 14, 12, 10?
Or 7th grade, maybe.
Yeah, what is that? 6th grade, 11, 10 years old, something like that. Dude, it was funny though, because this kid was telling us all these sort of weird stories, like around town. Like there's this place across the tracks that we could see called the Painted Lady.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, because I didn't know. I'm like, what is that place over there anyway? And he's like, oh, you haven't heard of the Painted Lady? It's like, I'm not from here, I didn't say that, but I'm like, no, what is it? He's like, oh, it's real good or something. It was all this, dude, it was a weird conversation. And he's like, oh, if you go to the Painted Lady, you can stay up until 10 or just weird stuff like that. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I guess
Thanks
I
for
gotta
the
go
info.
to the Painted Lady, dude. But he was telling us all kinds of stuff. Like his grandpa lives in Salt Lake City.
On the cutoff, and every time he kept talking about it, his hand kept going higher and higher. The cutoff, the first one where you get off and I know what's that. Okay.
It was a weird conversation, but we really remember him. So
maybe you'll find him again.
Maybe.
You never know. I keep telling Alvin we need to do a Chasing Trains episode called In Search of Kyle. It's where we go back. It's where we go back to Evanston and hang out in the same place and see if he shows up, on his bike.
On his bike. Yep.
Anyway. So
that's good.
Maybe we'll do that.
The worst of your 2020 was losing your home base for the
exactly. Losing the base, because now all my trips are going to start and end in Dallas starting in February. So anytime if there's a pairing that I have, let's say it starts at 6 o'clock in the morning at a DFW, well, I've got to be there likely the night before, because now I have to commute in. And there's not going to be a flight from Atlanta to Dallas that's going to get me there before 6 a.m.
Right.
And that's all unpaid. So that sucks.
I do have a question, and I want to get to the best of also, but I'm kind of curious when something like that happens, because you showed me the house that you guys bought. Have you thought, oh, well, maybe we should move to Dallas, or is it No, it's
No,
just you deal with it.
Yeah, it's not even on the table.
Okay,
just gonna deal with it. If it was, I'm at a regional carrier, I'm not at a mainline carrier. If I was at a mainline carrier, absolutely, yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Just the salary is there at the mainline carrier, 401k. The benefits are just tremendously better. But at a regional carrier, they can close and open bases as needed. So there really is not too much reliability there. So I wouldn't move for a regional carrier.
Right. So you might find yourself moving a lot because they could just shut it down next week if they want to.
They could,
that's rough. Yeah.
It's all at the discretion of the mainline partner. SkyWest Airlines, where I work, flies for Delta, United, American, and Alaska. And as those schedules shift and change, the regional partner kind of adjusts to what the mainline carrier wants to do or what the needs of the mainline carrier are. So when coronavirus hit, Delta was like, we just don't need you guys in Atlanta anymore. And 30 days, boom, the Atlanta crew base was gone.
Right. Wow.
So that was definitely the worst.
Okay. So what's the best?
So the best is going to be, I kind of thought about this one. I give you a little bit of forethought here. I'll throw a plug out for TSG Multimedia Patreon for connecting me up with Alvin and out there in Salt Lake City. That's something that was a cool experience. I haven't had that before, and that's something that was definitely a top for 2020 for me. One of the tops.
Cool.
Good.
So there is a benefit to the TSG train crew. That was huge. That was just, I don't know. We met each other, and it just seemed normal too. There wasn't like this like odd, awkward like, oh, who are you? It's just kind of like, hey, you're train crew member. All right, like let's go. Check this stuff out. It was just, I don't know, seamless.
Yeah.
I got to tell you though, Alvin's kind of like that though. He's an easygoing guy, so
sure. There's that underlying like train crew part of it though, where we're both kind of contributing to the same thing. Everyone seems reasonably trustworthy, I guess.
Well, so far, if the train crew gets bigger, I can't vouch for everybody, but
right.
I kind of alluded to this earlier when I don't remember who we were talking to, but one of the things that I really do enjoy is getting people together to meet each other, or, sometimes somebody does something that can help somebody else. And so putting those people together so that they have a mutual benefit. In your guys' case, it was just hanging out, but that's a mutual benefit. It gave you something to do, and
yeah,
you got a friend out of it, right?
Absolutely.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. So without a doubt, I text him all the time, send him pictures, and, stuff that I'm doing.
Right.
He cranks out all kinds of stuff all the time. Always weathering. Just started his layout, finishing some stairs on his house.
Yeah.
Right.
So those will be the other highlights to 2020. If you want me to work into those right now.
Sure. Yeah. What?
All right. So the other highlight is just I got to start the layout. I don't actually have any track work done, but I've been starting to do some of the bench work, which I've gotten on the ground here.
Cool.
Yes. So I've started to make all these, the tabletop portions of the bench work, and then I'm going to come in here later on tomorrow and start doing the table or the leg portions of them, and actually getting these mounted up adjacent to the walls, probably 48 to 50 inches up.
Are you going to do it on legs though, like modular, or are you putting them on, attaching them to the walls?
I'm not going to attach them to the walls, but I am going to use legs to elevate them.
That's cool. Yeah. And it's HO scale? I don't remember.
It is HO scale.
Okay, cool.
So yeah. I kind of started doing that the other day, but like I just said, with Alvin, I'm sending him photos all the time about stuff, and he sends me stuff right back. So it's kind of cool because there's not too many people that you, or at least that I have, where I can talk to them about, train stuff. Nobody else really, is going to care as much or necessarily see the importance of it or the value in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are kind of on the same page, right? Because you don't have too many people, Alvin, that you get to. Especially with Warren being hurt now.
Yeah.
Which actually that was on my list on my best and worst was one of my best was the fact that our mutual friend Warren, I don't know if you got to meet him when you were there, Brandon, but he posted a lot of really excellent sort of vintage photos to the Facebook page this year. And one of the worst things was when I heard that he had fallen. I guess he had a stroke and he fell and he hit his head, and he's been recovering ever since. And I don't know, Warren, if you're watching, but I really hope you feel better and get better, full recovery soon, because he's just a great guy. And
he's a solid dude.
Solid, man. Yeah.
Solid.
Yep.
So it was just one of those things where, you know, it's not like I can message my friends at the police department and say, "Hey, check out the weathering on this, you know, 2-bay covered hopper." They'd be like, "What are you talking about?" You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, although you might be surprised though, Brandon, because they might think. I mean, I don't know. You might know them well enough to know that they're really not into it, but you may find out that one of them is a foamer.
I don't know. I feel like I've dropped little hints here and there, and nobody picks it. There's nothing.
Oh well.
There's nothing. You know, I mean, I used to sit in the police car down by the Fowler Junction, which is a yard. No, you know, if anybody sent me a message, they'd be like, "Why are you always down there?" It wasn't, you know, they weren't like, "Hey, let me like I'm gonna come hang out with you." So it's like, "What are you doing down there? Why are you there all the time?"
That's funny.
So there's nothing. There's nothing there.
Oh, that's funny. Oh well, I mean, you know, I tried. You know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
that's probably, I guess, my best and worst.
Yeah. Well, since I have you on here, I'd like to make a request to send more photos for the catch of the month. I've always enjoyed the ones that you send, and
sure.
Also the mug shots on the plane and on the squad or cruiser or whatever you call it. What do you guys call those cars?
So when I was living in Massachusetts, definitely cruiser, but down here in Georgia, it's just a patrol car.
A patrol car. Okay.
Patrol car.
I want to make sure I have the right terminology, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I need to know those things. I mean, I have the damn patch right there.
You got the patch.
I should know what you're driving.
Yep.
I was going to call it a squad car. Like, that doesn't sound right.
It's like one Adam 12 or something. I feel like a squad car.
Hey, I watched that when I was a kid.
That's why I said it. That's why I referenced it.
You know, it's funny. I started, I don't know where I found them. They were on Netflix or something. And I started watching some of those again, and they actually weren't bad shows.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not bad.
I think that the shows from those days kind of portrayed a more folksy relationship that the police once had with residents. And I think that in a lot of places, they probably still do, you know, like small town America.
Small town, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but with the larger police forces in big metropolitan areas and stuff, I mean, most of the time, the people who work the department don't even live in the areas where they patrol for good reasons, you know, but, you know, it's not like you know them, and it's not like they really know your neighborhood either. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't live in the county that I worked in, and you know, you really didn't have a whole lot of time to get out and meet with the residents and stuff like that. Usually you're just going from call to call to call to call, and then when you're not actually on a call for service, you really kind of just like, I don't really want to talk to anybody, or like let me you know, or I'm just going to sit in a parking lot and get caught up on what reports I have to type and stuff like that. And you kind of, you know, you don't really have that time to like, hey, I'm just going to go hang out in this neighborhood and talk to people, or go to this park and kind of, you know, walk around or whatever and see who I can talk to and just be friendly with.
Yeah. I know what you're really doing. You're doing your reports and eating donuts.
Yes, that's right. Usually would hang out at the gas station for the free coffee and donuts. It's a good spot to be.
Did they give you some free coffee and donuts?
Yeah, usually. So they definitely would give us free coffee, just because they always liked having police around. You know, your convenience store is never going to get robbed if you have a bunch of cops just hanging out, you know, in the front parking lot.
Right. Not likely.
So, not likely. So usually, yeah, absolutely on the free coffee. Occasionally we'd get the free donuts. There's a couple times like the Krispy Kreme guy was like coming to drop them off, and he'd be like, here's a box of donuts. And I'd be like, oh, awesome. Thank you.
But the real question is whether they were super dope donuts.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I never felt anything after eating them, so just felt fat.
Well, that would make them super dope donuts then. Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a question that came from Bernard, Alvin, that was for you.
I don't know. Douglas models. I don't know
Oh.
about them, but there's Exactro in Provo, which is just 45
Train
minutes
Life.
to an hour south. Oh,
Train
yeah,
Life.
yeah, Train Life.
Yeah.
Train Life. They're about
Oh,
45 minutes to an hour. I took Brandon there. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, worth it.
Oh, did you get to
worth
see
it.
Peli Soyborg's layout, Brandon?
I did actually. Yes, we both did. I wasn't even really. I didn't really. I wasn't familiar with who that was or that layout was even there.
Oh, cool.
I'm friends with somebody. I don't know if you know who Thomas Klomoski is. He has the Georgia Northeastern Railroad. He's here in Georgia, and he's kind of been another contact that I have that's involved in this hobby. And I let him know that we were at the Exact Rail facility actually while Alvin and I were there. And he mentioned that. He said that layout is there. So I did take a couple photos of it and stuff like that. So
cool.
Beautiful layout, scenery-wise.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous.
Yeah, Peli actually just got another cover. Did you know that? He just got another cover on Model Railroader.
Oh, I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah. Sorry, Alvin, what were you going to say about?
I don't think the light was on.
Oh,
It was
really?
weird. It was kind of dim.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll tell you guys since. Oh, go ahead, Alvin.
Sorry, there's another hobby shop in Salt Lake, but I don't know what their plan is.
You mean the train shop?
Yeah, the train shop. So the building's getting sold or something. I don't know exactly what's going on with them, but they're in Salt Lake, and that's a decent one.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of the only ones.
This was one of the things that I got while we went there. It was just, I don't know.
There it is.
I don't really need it. I was like, man, I'm here. I got to get it. I got to get something. I can't just, show up here and not get something.
Yeah.
You
got the bridge too, right?
I did. Yeah. It's here somewhere, but yeah, I get that.
Is it the girder bridge?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exact Rail girder bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll tell you guys that I don't know if I told you, Alvin, yet, but Chris Brimley is the one that I invited to be our TSG virtual hangout guest here in a week or two.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
Just so you know, Chris, if you don't know, Brandon is the VP of Exact Rail. So was he there, Alvin, when you guys went?
I don't think so.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah, I didn't really see anybody there.
Yeah, but you saw someone because you bought the car, right?
Yeah. Whoever you had to buy those?
Right now, you just walked out with it. Hey, don't worry about them. The cop, it's all right. By the way, do you have any donuts?
Yeah,
here they are.
Sean Norris was there, but he was on his way out when we showed up.
Oh, I thought you said Chuck Norris for a minute. I had to think about that for a second.
Yeah. I'm not.
You saw Chuck Norris?
I'm not familiar. I wasn't familiar with anybody that was there. I know you seem to know somebody that was there, but I don't know anybody in hobby. It's just me. I just hang out down here. I work on this and talk to you guys. That's pretty much it.
Well, I'm glad that you called. I'm always hoping that you'll call in on these things so we can catch up. But, it's all good, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for the time. Happy New Year to you guys, Alvin. I'll talk to you in the future here, and I'll let you know what goes on with training in July. And John, if you're up for it, maybe we're all going to be vaccinated and go from there.
I hope so. That would be great. That would be really cool.
So
I was bummed out I couldn't be there last time, So right on, dude.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, bye. See ya.
All right. Okay.
Is anyone still watching though? Even though
oh yeah, these things they seem to build up, and we usually have the most viewers around between the first hour and the second hour, and it hasn't gone down at all, Alvin. It's about the same as it was an hour ago. So
good.
Yeah. So you must have been you must have been a great co-host.
I guess.
Everybody came to see you wear your Utah Jazz shirt that sucks.
Yep. It's Jazz. Yeah.
I should have worn my Warriors shirt just to represent a good team here.
I'm super mad though because I refuse to buy cable. Like I'm so sick of it because it's stupid expensive. But the only channel that plays Jazz games all the time, it doesn't have a streaming platform of any kind. So now I can't even watch the Jazz games.
Wow, at all, huh?
It sucks. But my buddy has YouTube TV, and he kind of hooked me up with his login stuff. But it's still not even on there.
Oh. Well, I have a top secret tip, and I don't know where you get these things. My dad found some place that sells these little boxes. It's like this little, I don't know, it's some kind of an Android device. And you plug it into your TV and you plug it into your internet. And it has everything on it. I mean, it has HBO, Showtime, every single. The only thing that I've looked for that I can't find on this thing is RFD TV. You know, the one that, I don't know if you know this, but there's a channel that actually plays the old commercial releases that I made 10 years ago or 15 years ago. And I wanted to find RFD TV on this box in order to watch my own videos. I mean, it sounds pretty self-serving and stupid, but just out of curiosity, you know, because I know they still play them and I would like to see what it looks like. But this little box, you plug it into your internet. So if you have a live internet connection, you can probably get your jazz games on that. So if you're interested in that, yeah, I think I know where he got it, and I'll try to find the website. And if I can't find the website, I'll ask him and I'll send it to you, because the box was like, I don't know, $50 or $100 or something. But there's you don't pay anything, and it has I'm serious, it has everything on it. It has every movie that has ever been made. You just search for it, and somewhere I don't. It seems like it should be illegal or something, but
pirating.
But I don't know, but it works. And I can tell you, I've watched a lot of things on it without having to pay whatever, you know. Again, I don't know. I mean, it must be legal, right? Or else how could it be sold? It's not like some underground black market thing. I mean, the guy is very open about it. Like he has a website, so it can't be too bad, right? Or else the FBI or somebody would shut him down.
Yeah. Maybe.
So anyway, we should wrap this up because we went a half hour over time.
Yeah. Sorry, friends.
Yeah. Sorry, friends. I do appreciate, though, everybody hanging out with us and having fun. I'm going to turn my chat off so I can't comment on any of those.
If anyone is ever in the Salt Lake area and wants to meet up to go look at trains, I'm always down. Just find me on Facebook or something.
Yeah. Or if you happen to know. Yeah, if you're not sketchy.
Only if you're not sketchy.
Yeah. If you're sketchy, then he's going to be busy that day.
Yeah, I'll be very busy.
Yeah. So you know what'll happen is it'll be a legit thing, and we're actually trying to get someone to meet, but you actually won't be available for real that day, and they're going to think that you didn't get to meet them because you thought they were sketchy. You see what happens?
Yeah. Or I'm just some asshole that doesn't want to hang out.
Hey, we're trying to still keep this G-rated, you jackass.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that, you know, kids have to watch till the very end to hear the cussing. So it's all good. All right. Well, I'm going to go. I could still talk more about 2020 because I even had my examples here of the cars that I tried to do weathering on. That was kind of a fun thing, but we're out of time and I'm tired, and the associate producer has to go in, and we're done.
Yeah.
And look at this. Yeah. Look at this poor guy. It's already 7:30 where he lives. So he's really tired now because, you know, you get to be a certain age and it's all bad.
Even the dogs are passed out.
Oh, look at that. They were lulled to sleep by
the other one's right there.
Oh, there she is on the couch. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for doing this. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had a lot of fun.
No problem.
Hope that the viewers had a lot of fun. And we're going to do another one next month with John. You'll have to make sure to tune into that one, Alvin. Call in.
Yeah.
Are
we still live right now?
Yeah, we're live right now, but we're about to go away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Happy New Year, everyone. Good luck this year.
You thought we weren't live? Is that why you were cussing?
No. Yeah. I thought we were not being.
So hang out there for a minute. I'm going to run our little end credits thing, and then I'll say goodbye to you after that. All right.
All right. I'll be here.
Okay. So I'm going to make Alvin go away now. Bye, Alvin. I'll talk to you in a minute. Say goodbye to the nice viewers.
Happy New Year. Good luck.
Okay. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Super huge thanks to our chat moderators and also to any super chats or super stickers. I saw, I can't go off of memory because I'll forget. I do remember James dropped to 50. That was really nice and generous. So thank you, James. And to everybody else, there were a couple other smaller ones in there. So thank you for that. If you're interested at all, you're welcome to go look at the Patreon page. It's patreon.com/TSG Multimedia, just like it says in the upper, I think it's right here, upper left corner of the screen. You can help support the channel for as little as $2 a month. And it doesn't sound like much, and it's really not much, but if enough people do it, it helps out a lot. And it helps us keep the lights on around here. So other than that, there's one other thing I was going to mention, which is we have the next episode of Model Trains Galore coming out this Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I think that's it. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.